Check we've got everything good. Probably get started. Ba-ba-da-ba-da-ba. Does it look like... Yeah, it looks like I'm live.
Let me at 'em.
And I seem to have audio. I haven't left myself on mute on this day. Is a good start to the stream. And do a little social post quickly to say that we are live.
Hey, what's the holdup?
How is everyone doing? I'm just getting the socials finished up. At any moment now, we will jump in.
Koichi's still a threat.
There we go. It's looking like we are all set up. But just in case, before we get properly going, where are we? Let's go do Chitose's last little friendship bingo conversation, because that'll hopefully mean we can finish our last drink link before we jump into anything too major. And then I can get to telling everyone about why my characters are suddenly way more powerful than they were last time we streamed this, because that's going to be fun. Mino the cow, have a banana. There we go. Hey, Cass. How are ya?
Apparently, this is a great spot to see shooting stars.
I should probably note, we can finally finish Chitose's friendship bingo, because now that all of her betrayal is out in the open, we're allowed to become best friends with her now.
Oh, I guess I better have a wish ready.
You should. But I'm terrible at tongue twisters.
Tongue twisters? Where'd that come from?
Well, you have to say your wish 3 times before the shooting star goes away, right?
Oh, like, I wish to wish the wish you wish to wish?
But if you wish the wish the which... Damn it!
I see what you mean.
Gotta make your wish
I
real
know.
simple then.
My wish will be to become the master of tongue twisters.
But then you'd have no wishes left. We're really opening up.
There we go. That one suspicious bingo board space that they wouldn't let us do for most of the game because Chitose was betraying us and they didn't want to explicitly say that.
Hey, Ichiban. We should check out Anaconda Harbor Park one of these nights.
Yeah? Sounds
Okay,
good
I've got to
me.
wait for nighttime
Is
to
there an event going on or what?
do the
It's apparently a
the
really
nighttime
good spot
friendship
to see
thing with
shooting
Chitose.
stars.
Oh, all right. I remember you saying something about that. We'll go check it out.
Yeah, it was literally the final friendship bingo square. It was 30 seconds ago, Ichiban. I'm not surprised you remember her saying something about wanting to wish on a shooting star. Right. So as we're getting set up here, here's the gist, and I'll probably end up reiterating this shortly. I played a bit of this off stream. I did some of the randomized dungeon here in Hawaii that we did with Kiryu, just to get some levels on this half of the party. But also I've started building end game weapons for the party. I actually bothered this playthrough to get some of the characters their like top end weapons for the end game this time. Ichiban has 2 different optional fully powered up end game weapons, the true legendary hero's bat and the ultimate Egesta. Right now, Adachi is being the action movie star with the nunchucks. He's being the Bruce Lee type. He has the Nightstone nunchucks at level 41 out of 50 upgrade levels. I'm still trying to get more upgrade materials off stream to finish that. Tomizawa is currently playing the Pyromancer, I think they're called. He's got his endgame weapon, the Dead Souls Axe. 0 additional level ups on it. I've put Chitose back to the Heiress class, her unique one. I don't have her final weapon yet, because I have to finish the drink links with her. I have to finish getting drunk and having conversations with her before I can get the prerequisite item to her final weapon. But the fact that we're talking about, like, making the final weapons for each character should probably, you know, should probably tell you something about the fact we're getting pretty close to the end of the game here. Okay, we can finish Adachi's quest. Do I not have a drink link to do with Chitose? No, apparently not. I don't have a... What level do I have to be to do the final drink link with Chitose? Or can I not finish the drink link with Chitose until we progress slightly further? Is it one of those? Yeah, I know I am a high enough level to... Yeah, I'm level 65. This will... level 5 drink link will unlock as the story progresses. Okay, I literally can't do Chitose's final weapon yet. But Adachi... I believe level 50, you can finish the drink links. So you might as well finish Adachi's drink links, because that'll probably give us... If we want to put him back to the detective class, it'll give us the weapon that can be turned into his ultimate weapon, so it's worth having that. I've got to remember what the gist of Adachi's drink link was last time we did it, but before that, I'm gonna start with some karaoke, because of course I have to start with karaoke, why would I not? Oh, this one's fun. Remember this one being fun. I think I remember Adachi's drink link. I'll get there in a second, but let's do this song that is weirdly... It's very fun to play, this one.
But my crush kicked me to the curb. Right, poured my heart in that love letter. She tore it up, put my feelings through the shredder. Our relationship, it was she left me before I could forget her. So, you know that girl you like's got a boyfriend? I hear he's captain of the soccer team and hot and smart and athletic. He's like the whole package, a perfect 10 out of 10. But you're not in the same league, dude. It's fine.
I can imagine a ska band in like 2003 really fucking digging this track.
Sorry, I feel bad, I do. I went through something awful, you know? You had your eyes on me for so long, but everybody else did too. Apparently those two are going 4 years strong. Really? 4 years? It's been that long? How can someone be this damn slow? Even a jerk like you wanna know. No need to go and cry. Deep down, you're a good guy. You need to get your mind things. I know. How about a trip to Hawaii? Let's go. So grab your towel and dry up your tears. This grief ain't never gonna leave me be. Just get down and dance. But now I'm feeling that trip to Hawaii. Let's hit the beach and flirt with some babes. Think I can bet some doggos too? So maybe there's a chance you'll meet your soulmate. You know I'm kinda getting into this now. Make your move. Get into that summertime groove. Yeah! It's fun! Summertime groove!
There we go. I think we're probably ready to start getting back into the drink link jazz. Because, yeah, Adachi's we've not had an opportunity to do for ages. We did the first couple of links. I will summarize this as best I can remember it. Adachi, back in the day in Japan, was working as a cop, and some woman was, like, worried her jewelry store was gonna get robbed. It hadn't been robbed yet, but, like, there were some people that kept, like, coming in, looking around suspiciously and leaving, and it felt like they were casing the joint, but, like, as... You know, cops aren't there to prevent crime, they're there to show up and do paperwork after a crime's happened. And, like, yeah, her fears were right, she got robbed, and, like, Adachi, like, it's one of the things he looks back on in his time as a cop, and he's like, yeah, no, that we should have been there for her, and we weren't, because, like, that's not how cops do. He caught wind that she's now moved to Hawaii and opened up a new jewelry store in Hawaii, and he's like, he's trying to see if he can find if that's true, because he just wants to check she's doing okay, because he feels bad that she got robbed, and, like, he was trained to not do anything until after the crime happens, rather than proactively helping her. Hey, Bella Bean. So yeah, that's the gist of where Adachi's story was at. I'm just gonna see, can I make any more of these really good... Please, let me make more of these really good healing items. 300 MP and 300 HP for every party member is really good. Adachi, any progress? Have you found that jewelry shop yet? Is she doing all right?
Yo, sup, Adachi-san?
Hey! Actually, I talked to the bartender earlier.
Huh? Oh, about Akiko-san's shop. You had him check whether or not it's in Hawaii, right?
Yep, that's right. Turns out he couldn't find anything.
Oh, man. Sorry to hear that. But you don't know for sure, right? It's not like he combed through every grain of sand on the island.
He's talked to a fair share of people, though, so honestly, I've pretty much given up already.
You know, maybe when you stop looking, you'll
Sometimes
stumble
you
upon
end up
her.
finding what you're looking for after you forget about it. Maybe now's just not the right time?
Yeah, I guess so. I did just get here, and other people have been doing the groundwork for me.
I'll keep an eye out in town, see if there are any jewelry shops around from now on.
Thanks. But there's something I gotta tell you. Oh, Akiko-san might consider me as nothing more than a nuisance.
Why is that?
Well, to tell you the truth, 20 years ago, when the shop got robbed, the police could have prevented it entirely.
Oops, I think I told you slightly more than we'd actually seen on stream. Some of that I may have remembered from the first time we did this. My apologies for jumping ahead slightly. Yeah, the police could have stopped it. Adachi feels bad. Oopsie, remembered that from last playthrough, I guess.
How?
Of all the things I could have
A few
spoiled,
days
that's
before
not the
incident,
worst.
The police received a report claiming suspicious individuals were visiting the shop. The person who filed the report was just a high schooler at the time. Akiko-san.
Yeah, it was her parents' shop. She reported
But
it.
there's not much the police can do when you tell them someone's acting suspicious.
Okay, well, this is at least confirming to me that I remember correctly what the deal was.
To them, she was
That's
just a
good.
kid. As for her parents, well, and their daughter took it so seriously that it felt like they were accompanying her just to humor her.
So, because none of the adults believed her, nobody stopped the robbery from happening.
Yeah, that'll
Well, I
radicalize
learned
you.
that Akiko-san had stopped by the station before, when I interviewed her after the incident. She told me that a man would visit the shop multiple days a week.
Okay,
but
so
never
it's
bothered
not
her.
like you're, like, specifically
Also said
Adachi
that
knew
he'd look
about it,
around with
but...
this hard, intense stare.
Hey, Thimba.
He was eyeing everything.
Yeah, that's pretty sketchy. But not sketchy enough for the police to take action, I guess.
And the best we could do is have more personnel patrolling the area, and even then, we couldn't keep it up for days on end. So, because the police didn't do jack squat, a group of thieves broke in days later.
Reminder, cops are not there to prevent crime, they are there to do paperwork after the crime happens. I mean, that's for the average person. They're there to prevent crime when, you know, it's the interests of the powerful or the wealthy are involved, but for the average person, police do not prevent crime, they come and catalogue it after.
One of them was the guy Akiko-san mentioned?
Yep. He was their ringleader.
Oh, Thimba, no, you've missed out. The info's kind of better than that. Hollow Knight Silksong has been rated by the South Korean ratings board, but it wasn't today. It was on the 20th of February that the South Korean ratings board rated it. People only discovered it today. It has been on the South Korean rating board for a little over a month, which again is a really good sign that we're probably within 6 months of its release. Like, I would put money, like, I would be surprised if it's not out by, like, end of August, start of September this year. I would be surprised. Like, when you've got multiple regional ratings boards starting to circulate, it's a good sign that the game's ready. I'm glad I could give you better news about Silk Song than you thought you had.
Shop, but both her parents were. They ended up bound and gagged.
Ella Bean says, fun fact, in the K-pop world we can tell when a concert DVD or something is coming because of the ratings.
Psychological damage took its toll.
Oh yeah, no, like, video games are very similar. Like, you get exceptions. So, generally speaking, a ratings board will rate a game somewhere in the range of, like, 6 months before release. Now, the reason that doesn't stop, like, things like Hi-Fi Rush, where it was announced and released on the same day, you can petition ratings boards to be like, I don't want this to be known until it's announced. Can we embargo the fact that this has been rated until blank? But usually there's no real reason to. Ratings board ratings, they're not as precise a science as they are, say, in the music or the TV industry. But in video games, you can still reliably go 4 to 12 months, probably about 6.
When all was said and done, and the criminals were behind
I'm
bars,
willing to bet it's a
shut down
surprise
the
drop
good.
during the Xbox showcase in June.
Man, that's awful.
Akiko-san was pissed the police didn't lift a damn finger. And I don't blame her. She played her best hand, but her folks still ended up in danger.
It's no one's fault the police aren't all powerful. I'm not picking that. Police could do more. What exactly did she tell
Well,
you?
what exactly did she tell
Before you feel guilty, what did you actually know?
Right?
Well, something like, I told you this would happen, but the police refused to believe a word I said.
I can't imagine that was easy to hear.
Well, when you're a detective, you make plenty of bitter memories. This was just a drop in the bucket.
Then you want to meet Akiko-san to apologize for the incident?
I'm not so sure myself. I just want to know if she's all right, more than anything else. If I didn't happen to be in Hawaii, I never would have even considered it.
Guess the only way to find out is to actually meet her.
Yeah, I guess
Timbo,
so.
without researching that story,
I'll try to
I
get in touch
have
with my
no
old
real
contacts from back
insight
in the
on
day
it.
later. You ask him if Akiko-san really does run a shop here in Hawaii, or if someone knows someone familiar with it.
But yeah,
Wait, what?
Adachi
You haven't
just
done that yet?
Well,
feels
I wouldn't
bad
be
and
able
wants
take
to
it
make
by
amends for
some
the
small
fact
chance her life
that,
was
you know,
shambles.
someone had a
So I
really
put
shit
off the
interaction with the
investigation.
cops when he was working with them.
Yeah, I feel you, man.
Well, you know, after spilling my guts out to you, I feel like I could be a bit more expressive with my
But
feelings
yes,
from now on.
in terms of Hollow Knight Silk Song,
Glad to hear it. The best
I
way to
still
vent is
think
to
it
get
would be
all out of your
fucking
system
great
over a few drinks.
if it showed up in the
Right?
AAA indie
Maybe
showcase.
Who would've
I think
thought
like this time next week. I think it's on the 10th, which would be a week from now. I really want to see it show up just out of nowhere, be available, like, it's available now, during the AAA indie showcase. Reasonably, I think it's going to be Xbox showcase at like, Xbox's essentially June E3 showcase. I think it'll be, it's out right now on Game Pass. I think it's going to be their big thing they rest themselves on. Yeah, I don't know what time of day the AAA showcase is on the 10th. Have I write the time down in my calendar? No, I didn't. What? Let's have a look. AAA. The AAA showcase is happening on the 10th at 1 p.m. Eastern, which is 5 hours difference, so 6 p.m. UK. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Let me put it on my... Let me put it on my calendar so I remember to stream it. I don't think this shows up in the AAA showcase, but there is part of me that goes, it would be really fucking funny if the reason we're seeing ESRB ratings pop up is that because the games are like a week from being suddenly out there. I love the thought of that, even if I think Xbox has probably put enough money on the table to encourage it to be at the June showcase, would be my guess. Anyway, Adachi, have you found her jewelry shop yet?
Hey, Adachi-san. What's wrong? I've never seen you this down before.
Oh, you could tell? Good eye.
Don't be like that, man. What happened?
Well, you see, I found Akiko-san's shop earlier and decided to swing by.
Wait, hold up. You're talking about that jewelry shop, right? That means she actually opened up her own place here? Why are you so down about that?
Come on, have a seat. Figure I ought to give you the rundown. I got in touch with someone I knew from back when I was a detective. Had to twist an arm to get him to look into stuff. And that's how I learned that Akiko-san managed to open a shop near Knight Street. I headed over to check out the area myself. That's when I heard about a jewelry shop owned by a Japanese woman.
Damn, you seriously pulled out all the stops, Adachi-san. Even the barkeeper here couldn't track it down.
Well, you know, some things you gotta do yourself. It was stupid of me to ask him to look for a shop that might not exist. Free of charge at that.
Yeah, you had no right to complain about that. Anyway, back up for a sec.
I mean, Adachi, it really couldn't have been that hard to find her jewelry shop. You open the map and press triangle and it brings up a list of all the buildings, and then you just sort it by shops and then look for ones that appear to be jewelry shops and check them. There's like 4 of them.
Did you get to see Akiko-san?
Yeah, I did. Technically speaking. It seems like the shop's pretty popular with tourists who are in the know. There were a few customers browsing, but only one woman working.
The wonders of new tech.
So,
I mean, look,
was it
even
her?
in the real world, open
I
Google
can never
Maps and
forget her
go,
face, even after 20 years.
jewelry stores near me, and it'll
Well,
like
that's
put
fine.
like
I know
30
without a
pins
doubt
around you to
it's
go,
Akiko-san.
which of these is it? Good to hear that she's doing well after her parents' jewelry store got robbed. She's doing one and it isn't being robbed right now, it seems. Good
Well,
for
that's
her.
great news. Akiko-san actually did come to Hawaii and successfully set up shop.
Yeah. She's really
God,
something.
yeah. Phone book and a map
Fine woman.
sure was an era. I remember when I was first traveling to video game press events like 10 to 15 years ago, I would travel into London to go to a venue I'd not been to before, and I wouldn't be able to rely on like having good enough mobile internet to like look at a real-time map. So I would like look up a map at home on the computer. And like I recognize at that point I had Google Maps at home and whatnot, but I would go and like print out the map route and write down like go to this junction, turn this way, write out my instructions. I'd have them written down in my phone. So I'd have like 3 different forms. I'd have like a screenshot, a printed out version, a written down version, be able to follow instructions to find where I was trying to find in a new place. The fact that I can just follow a real-time map now is wild.
That aside,
The future hath
the moment I
arrived.
set foot in her shop, I got a gut feeling that one of the customers was up to no good.
See what?
So I figured I better keep an eye on him before talking to Akiko-san.
What makes you say he was up to no good?
Well, even though he was facing the jewels, his eyes were always glancing up, like he was checking out where the security cameras were. But Akiko-san didn't notice him at all. She had her hands full with another customer who kept asking to try on stuff.
Adachi, are you suggesting you saw the signs of a crime that hadn't yet occurred, but was very clear to you would occur, and you know you want to stop that crime, perhaps because you couldn't stop that crime when it was a little kid seeing those signs and wanting to stop the crime? Oh, how very the turntables have turned of you, Adachi. Thimba says, talking about tech, I saw Laura retweeted a comment about anti-cheat making it so a disabled player couldn't play Helldivers 2. So the devs removed the anti-cheat. Have the devs removed the anti-cheat? I hadn't seen that update. If it has been removed, I'm not seeing it yet. I'd love to see a link if it has been removed. Yeah, so I believe the program is called Protect. But yeah, for context, I'm trying to remember who it was now that I saw talking about this. I saw someone basically talking about the fact that they use a basically a hat that detects motion to do like mouse inputs, mouse control with their head, and it does not function with Helldivers 2 because Helldivers 2's anti-cheat just will not interface with it. I'm not seeing on any of the game sites that it's been taken down. I'm just seeing threads of people asking for it to be taken down. It also stopped one other tool. I don't remember the other one. I know one was a head-mounted movement tracker. But yeah, apparently it's yet another case. And this has been happening for like 25 years. This is not a new occurrence. Some game on PC's anti-cheat stopped accessibility hardware from working. It's a tale as old as time.
I don't know, Adachi-san. Maybe it's just your imagination. Is it really that suspicious to look at security cameras?
Well, of course, that's not all. Another thing, he kept making eye contact with some other customers.
Oh, you reckon there's a group?
Well, take a wild guess. It was with the customer Akiko-san was assisting. They were probably pretending not to know each other. One person distracts.
No worries, Thimba. If it turns out that is correct, that's really great news.
Scoping out how tight security is. At least half of the customers in the shop at the time must have been in on it.
What's their game then?
Ooh.
Were they trying to make off some necklaces or something?
Renamed Bloodborne Kart is finally coming on May 31st, and I retweeted earlier today. I shared a screen of the accessibility settings for that game. That game has an accessibility menu, and that's cool. Bloodborne Kart is now Nightmare Kart. It's coming free the end of next month. It's looking real cool.
Not exactly. My gut says they were getting ready for a big heist. The next time they swing by, they'll have a way to shut down the shop's security system and an escape route all planned out.
What? Seriously?
I only left the shop after they did. Stuck around on the off chance they'd lift something then and there.
At least nothing went down. Yet.
Right. But if they were already scoping out the place,
Yeah.
Soon.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm
You
really
think something's up.
really fucking surprised that Sony told them off about Bloodborne Kart. Two things about that Bloodborne Kart situation. First of all, Bloodborne PS1 remake never got a complaint out of Sony. People who worked on Bloodborne, like quite high up, absolutely love the PS1 remake that exists. Absolutely praise the hell out of it. But specifically, the thing that pisses me off about the Sony situation with Bloodborne Kart, they waited until a release date for Bloodborne Kart had been announced. Not only that, they waited until the game was 2 days, it was 48 hours away from releasing to go, no, you can't call it Bloodborne Kart. Like, they could have said at any point during 2 years of development, stop it, don't. It really sucks to go, oh, you're literally on the doorstep of releasing it. Nah, go back and undo it. But
believe you.
it
Yeah,
still
I
looks
figured
really
you'd say
fucking cool,
that,
and I'm
but
glad
I
people
have
are...
proof. No one else would believe me.
They still know what it
Why is
is.
that?
There's no way the Hawaiian police is going to get involved just because some tourist told them to watch out for a gang of robbers. Why would they waste resources mobilizing their officers? Especially when they don't know if
Adachi,
a
it
robbery
really
will
sucks
happen.
when the cops won't mobilize to
Yeah.
stop a crime that
You got a
you
point there.
intuitively know is about to
of course they do.
happen.
Now,
They won't
if
step
you
in
were
until
in my
after
shoes,
it's
What
happened.
would your next move be?
That really sucks, man who used to be a cop. Warn
Best
her.
thing to do is to warn Akiko-san first.
Make her aware.
You got it. Realistically, that's all I can do.
Whether she'll listen to you or not is another matter, but you gotta
After
warn
the
her
whole
that it's
gang
coming.
left Akiko-san's shop, I managed to speak with her. At first, she didn't recognize me.
This game has never
So I
done
told her that
politics,
I used to
not
be a
once
Kanagawa
ever.
Police officer. She went pale after that. Then she looked at me with fear, anger, and pure loathing.
Yeah, of course she did. You're the cop that radicalized her against the concept of cops. Turning back up in her life in a different country. Of course she was not fucking happy.
Whoa.
Well, yeah, it's not much of a surprise. In her eyes, I'm just another incompetent cop. Akiko-san tried to warn us about the incident, but we still didn't do a damn thing about it. We practically let her folks get robbed.
At least he's aware of the situation. At least
After 20
Adachi
years,
like
a former
sees
police officer
the
pops
problem
up out of
that
nowhere
he did.
to warn you about an impending robbery. Also, consider the fact that this is someone she has history with. I mean, how do you think she reacted?
How did she react?
She was terrified, and on the verge of tears. Thought it was some kind of sick joke. Wouldn't you?
I
From her
probably
point of
would.
view, I must have seemed a lot more suspicious than some prospective burglar.
No way, man. Maybe you've got it all wrong.
Nah. I
Yeah,
couldn't get
you
a
don't
word
trust
out
the
of her
guy
after
who
that.
comes up to you and he goes,
Chased me
"Hey,
out of her shop, pretty much
I'm a
kicked my
cop.
ass to the curb.
I'm that cop
You
that
told me
was
to beat it,
involved
or
in
else
a
you'd call the
case
cops
of
on me."
yours 20 years
I think
ago.
I get it now.
I'm here to
So
help."
That's what's got you down.
It's the most suspicious sentence in the world.
I just feel like such a dumbass. I should have stepped into her shoes then. Thought harder about how to approach her.
Calm down, Adachi-san. What's done is done. But Akiko-san's shop is still in danger, right? You've gotta tell her that, man.
No, I can't. She won't trust me. The moment she gets a glimpse of me, she'll go screaming for help. There's no way she'll hear me out.
Hey, how about this? Let's wait till she cools her head, and then we hit up her shop. You and me, buddy.
You're tagging along? But why?
Well, I'll talk to her first. Try to clear the air. Once she's calmed down, you can explain everything to her. Anyway, the problem at hand is that Akiko-san hasn't realized her shop's gonna get looted. No way we're standing by and letting it happen, right?
No, we're not. Not a chance in hell.
Good.
Okay, I've done some research quick on that Helldivers 2 getting rid of their anti-cheat. As far as I can tell, they haven't removed the anti-cheat. So it was Steven Spon, who did the post, like, talking about the accessibility tech not working with the game because of the anti-cheat. Yeah, he's got an infrared hat to relay movements into keyboard presses. Helldivers 2 blocks the program from input. It also blocks Dragon Naturally Speaking, which is his dictation program that he uses for voice-to-speech. Comfort on-screen keyboard, a virtual keyboard to use the mouse to push keyboard keys, all got blocked. Someone from the Helldivers dev, CEO at Arrowhead, so the CEO of and creative director on Helldivers 2, responded saying, "I will look into this, but I need to know what software you use." This was yesterday. Also tagging in the development studio and the official account for the game. And the two moved over to DMs. This was a day ago. There is no public sign that they have removed the anti-cheat, or if they have, they haven't like publicly announced that they've done that. But from what I can tell, the most recent official update was the devs did ask for more info on what accessibility hardware and programs were being shut out by the anti-cheat. So
Doesn't matter
my guess is they're not going to get rid of the anti-cheat. They're going to make explicit exceptions within the anti-cheat to allow Steven's specific tools to get access through. Like I don't think they're gonna take away the anti-cheat. I think they just make basically firewall exemptions equivalent.
She thinks of me. What's important right now is her safety.
Yeah, that's the spirit. Hell, you're starting to sound like the Adachi-san I know.
I bet I made a sorry sight. Lost my grip just because my feelings got a little hurt.
Hey, man, it happens. I'm sure deep down in your heart, you were actually hoping for a teary reunion.
All right. You had your fun. Knock it off.
Okay. Come on, let's have ourselves another drink. Cool our heads a little.
Seriously, man, I don't have any ulterior motives or anything, so give it a rest.
Adachi, your heart is in the right place, but I'm gonna protect you from getting robbed whether you want it or not. It doesn't sound great on paper. Can we go do his final drink link? Probably, yeah, we can just go do the final drink link. We'll go stop the robbery, and he'll be sorted.
Dachi-san,
And I'm probably strong enough to go
We
do
had some time
that
to spare.
last
It's
MMA
about Akiko-san's shop.
side quest, and then it's just main plot.
You could have a word with her. That way I can warn her about the robbers.
Right. Yeah, sure.
I mean, if I show up out of the blue, I doubt Akiko-san would hear me out.
Probably
I was
not.
thinking
You're a
you
cop.
could go in first, be our mediator.
A cop that she knows she
If
doesn't
what I have to
like.
say, then the shop's going to be an easy mark for those robbers.
Yeah, if they actually tried to break in, then we can pull one over on them and keep it from happening. Besides, when it comes to crime prevention, you're a pro.
Damn straight. But if we want things to work out, I need you to get Akiko-san to come around. But not to pile on too much pressure, but we have no other option. I'll be counting on you and your sweet talk, Kasuga.
Seriously, dude? What's sweet talk?
Oh, I keep being reminded of a story that I fucking hate knowing. As a big, long-time Power Rangers fan, Austin St. John, the red Power Ranger, he was the gold Zeo Ranger. He's gone on a weird fucking spiral. Like, he's not gone as off the deep end as, like, Power Ranger actor that stabbed his roommate with a katana. But he is selling t-shirts with Hitler quotes on them. And all the big Power Rangers conventions like Power Morphicon are still inviting him to speak while he has his range of shirts with quotes from history's greatest warriors, including Hitler, that he's selling on his shop. He's gone on a bit of a turn. Here's my one story of Austin St. John. I saw him once at, I believe it was MCM Comic-Con, not that long ago, like, within the last year, with a little stall, and it was, like, 50 quid for an autograph, 75 for a photo with him. It was something kind of exorbitant. And someone took a selfie kind of near his booth. Maybe they were trying to get a selfie with him in the background from a distance. Maybe they were just taking a selfie. It was not clear enough cut for like anything to be obvious, and he like stormed over and started demanding money out of that person, going, "You took a selfie. I was definitely in the background of it. You're trying to get a free photo with me. The photos with me cost £75." Like, he went on a bit of a tirade. That put me off him then and there, and then all the Hitler shirt stuff have made me go, "Ooh, ouch."
Oh, this is it? At long last, Akiko-san's jewelry shop. Must be hard to run a business like this in a foreign country.
Hey, Adachi, how did it take you this long to find her jewelry shop? It has her name in it. If you had searched the words Jewelry Akiko to see if you could find Akiko's jewelry shop, you'd have found it. We know from your friendship bingo, Adachi, that you have a smartphone and like using the internet. You literally had to Google the business type and the name of the business owner, and you would have found her business.
Right? That's why we gotta tighten security, make sure nothing happens.
Oh shit, Adachi was right. Robbery happened.
Hey, Kasuga, stay calm and listen.
Huh? What's up?
Those guys who just left the shop now, they were scoping out the place before, no doubt. Same guys I saw acting shady.
Seriously?
Oh god, don't tell me. They already struck?
I'm guessing so, with all the riot gear and the
I'm gonna check out
bags
the
of
situation
loot.
inside. Mind stalling them for me? There's a chance they snatched some jewelry.
Wait, how am I supposed to do that? Oh, shit! No time to think. Yo! Sup, my dudes? Got a sec? So, get this. I heard a real disturbing story around these parts.
These people who've just robbed a jewelry store are
Some
not standing
robbers
around to
are
listen
targeting the local
to you.
jewelry stores.
To listen to you,
What are you trying
Ichiban.
to say? My friend said he saw some real suspicious guys just now over at the shop.
Yeah, wearing like bulletproof vests and carrying suspicious black
Think that's
duffel
true?
bags.
Did you
You wouldn't know anything about those, would
Did
you?
you see anything strange
Gentlemen.
back there?
Norm, let's book it.
Why are you not already booking
What
it?
do we have here? What's with all those?
Why are you waiting around for Ichiban to do his
You
little
wouldn't happen to have any
back and forth
jewels in
routine?
there, would you?
The jewelry shop owner's probably already pressed her fucking silent alarm, I would imagine.
Kasuga, they're the robbers. Catch them.
Yep, thought so. Roger that.
Darchi, did you really need to go in there for like a minute and a half to confirm
How's Akiko-san?
those men with the suspicious duffel
He's
bags
safe now.
might have robbed the place?
Trying to stop him from
Okay, sorry, yeah, he is a cop. He needs to, like, you know, do the fucking procedure rather than just go, those guys clearly just robbed a place, I'll do something about it. You know, that would be being proactive in protecting someone in the community. I'm gonna one-hit kill these guys, probably, I imagine. Yeah, I'm like 15 levels higher than I was last stream, which means that I am ready to one-hit kill a lot of stuff for a bit. Plot ain't got nothing on me anymore.
Adachi-san, I called the police. They said they'll be here soon.
All right. Good to hear.
Oh, is that her?
Yep, that's Akiko-san.
Oh, knew it.
One cop comes back and protects her from a robbery, and suddenly she's
Something like
unradicalized.
that.
Willing to deal with the cops again. Fucking stick to your convictions, woman. The cops are trash.
Adachi-san.
Like,
Kazu-
granted, a cop did just stop you from, like, prevent a crime from happening preemptively. The very thing that radicalized you, because it never happened. So, like, I get it. You've met the cop that did the thing that cops let you down on, and suddenly all your revolutionary spirit is gone. Ugh.
San, thank you so much for what you did.
It's fine, Akiko-san. No need to lower your head. I'm just glad you're safe, really. That's all that matters to me.
But I was awful to you. All because I held a grudge over something that happened decades ago.
You
I
were
knew
right
the
to hold
police
the
did what they
grudge.
could. I knew. But
Oh, I
could
got
never
the
accept
surfer
it.
jellyfish thing.
Not
I was going to
how
show it
things
off in a
turned out.
second. I've gone back to the hero class for Ichiban, but I did finally get the jellyfish thing. People were begging me to, like, be the surfer class until I got the jellyfish. I'll show you it. I'm frankly a bit disappointed. The way chat had built it up, I thought it was going to be one of those big, elaborate nonsense cutscene attacks, and it's not. I'll show you it in a minute, and you'll see what everyone was begging me to commit to a class all the way up to rank 25 for.
I guess no matter how many sides point to a crime, there's only so much you can do.
I wouldn't be so sure about that. See, Adachi-san here has his own agency now.
Huh?
Adachi Investigative Services, it's called. Lame-ass name aside, he's actually an expert at crime prevention.
Yeah, that is kind of what his business is now, is trying to preemptively stop crime rather than waiting for it to happen and calling
He's
the cops.
basically a consultant who gives you tips on how to protect yourself.
Like, look, it's not a bad attack, it's just
Easy
like,
now.
Hey, what's with
my
the
hopes had
sales
been built up.
It's only gonna put her on
I
the spot.
assumed it was going to be in a particular
Oh, no,
category of
it's
attack, the
fine.
way people talked about it.
I was right there with him when he built his company from the ground up. Always wondered what got him so motivated.
Oh, okay.
Now it's finally coming together. The reason he's been working so hard. It was to face his regret over being unable to help you and your parents at the time. Even though you told the right people, the police, they still couldn't act when it counted. Time passed, and now here he is, in charge of an organization that can finally make a difference. Well, at least that's how I see it.
Yeah, I should have figured you'd spout off a bunch of BS. Not in front of the person it's about. Come on.
Could it be there's a hint of truth in his tale?
Well, I mean, lots of former officers go into this kind of field. It's nothing special.
Is that right?
When you're a cop, you come to realize there are going to be times when you won't be able to save someone. And to me, you were one of those people. I am so sorry I couldn't help you that time.
No, don't be. Please stop. Everything's fine now.
You guys just keep on apologizing to each other. So, have you overcome 20 years of regret yet?
Maybe I have.
There we go.
I don't think I've ever been happier in my whole life.
I'm glad you got to
Me,
get rid of
you're
your old
someone I
cop
can't
guilt,
ever thank
Adachi.
enough.
There you go. Well
I
done.
owe you so much. Words can't describe how grateful I am.
At least have
Again,
mixed feelings.
thank
He let
you
you down
very
30
much.
years ago. The system is still flawed. Adachi might be nice. I like Adachi, but, like, cops as a system are flawed. Don't forget that cops are flawed. This guy could only help you because he's not a cop anymore. Maybe
But
still be suspicious of
everything that's
cops.
happened only made me realize that I actually do miss running my own business. It reminded me of how I felt when I first considered starting one.
Well then, in that case, after we're back in Ijincho for good, how about giving it another shot? Get Adachi Investigative Services back on its feet.
I don't know, it's just...
You're doing everything you can to help me out. That's why next time, I'll be sure to return the favor. If there's anything I can do, just say the
Adachi's
word.
alright for an ex-cop. He's pretty
Only if it's
good.
cool with you.
Unbelievable. You're willing to go that far for me?
Of course.
Seriously though, how
We've
about
been
it?
through two
I mean, you were so
over
fired up
100-hour
starting out.
RPGs together.
Now I know why you were so motivated.
You're a party member. I'll do anything for
Alright,
you.
Kasuga,
Make it a side
enough.
quest.
I get where you're coming from. I'll remember every little thing you just said, so don't go forgetting it later, alright?
Hey, you ought to know me by now. I'm not that kind of half-hearted asshole, am I?
True.
Let me go outside and show you that jellyfish attack, so you can see what all the hype was for. Let me just find some random nonsense enemies to pick a fight with. Those ones over there will do. Here's what the jellyfish attack is.
Time to go all out.
If we can get to Ichiban's turn without fight ending. Okay, where is it? Jellyfish juice. This is the attack. You throw a jellyfish and it electrocutes them. Like, it's kind of strong, but I was expecting more. Terra says, I can't wait for 2 months from now when Dice Funk opens with you ranting about police in a safe space. I'm pretty sure the delay between recording and what's published in Dice Funk is more than 2 months right now. I have no idea where we will be in time by the time that all shakes out. Did I finish the quest down here where I had to beat up the MMA guy? Or is that side quest just not available right now because the game wants me to, like, go do the actual plot? I think the game just wants me to go do the actual plot. So I think the reason the game's trying to get us to go back to the plot, and I think this is fair enough, is that, Ichiban's mum is in the midst of being kidnapped from, Yamai, the crime guy that was looking after her. So we were rushing over there to go, like, make sure she was safe. Yeah, if I'd stumbled upon that attack, I'd have thought it was cool. The build-up didn't help. Okay, Pelicana's making another play for Akane-san. Damn it, there's no avoiding a big fight this time. Okay, I gotta be level 35. Good thing I'm level 45. I'm gonna sweep this.
Open this goddamn door! You got 5 seconds before we break it down!
Oh, don't break in and upset my mother.
This is crazy.
Got to keep dear Mumsy safe.
Boss, Kasuga's here.
Good. Show him my face.
Hey, incoming.
Oh, Danny Trejo's
Guy doesn't
back.
look like he's Yakuza, does he?
You!
Aloha, Ichiban Kasuga.
Hey Dwight, you really need to turn the lighting up.
Behind this
Buddy, I'm just
You've got video compression isn't doing well with the darkness of your room, sir.
partner. like a quick word.
Oh, you just never give up, Kasuga-san.
Oh, AG.
Hey, John.
Didn't I tell you? Stop calling me that.
H-Chan, you were in Bleach Japan, weren't you? And a reporter before that. The Arakawa family set you up, though, right?
So?
All of this, is it all payback against the Yakuza for wrecking your life?
What if it is?
If it is, why endanger Akane-san and Lani for your revenge? They've done nothing to you. You want to get even? Why don't you take me alone?
Huh?
I'm an Arakawa family member. I'm why Bleach Japan went under. Ichan, if there's anyone in the world who still deserves your hatred, it's me. What do you want? You could torture me, skin me, kill me? Where are you? I'll come running.
Ichiban, you sure you wanna offer all those as things he can do?
Oh, how quintessentially you, Kasuga-san. Really now? Why would I ever trust you? A Yakuza with his back to the wall would say anything. Besides, Lonnie's a more important capture than you'd ever be. I want every Yakuza to suffer, not just one. Ebina-san can make that happen once he has the girl.
Eiji, listen, it's me! What are you trying to do?
No. I'm not interested in your questions. Don't you have more pressing matters to attend to?
Fine, I'll save my
Little
mum.
Akane is going to need your help very soon. Yamai's territory is up for grabs, you see. Dwight's offered it to whoever snatches her first. Naturally, Polycana supports his decision.
The hell?
This is Hawaii, Caron. Gang or police. Polycana signing the check. Any guppy Yakuza who wants to survive in this bond better swear up to the kahuna. And words
Or
out,
you could all just let me and my
Yamai
mum
and, the
and
old
that
woman
kid
are
leave.
the
You could
price
do
to
that.
buy in.
To be frank, Lonnie is all that we really needed. Old Akane is of no practical use to me, save for one precious thing. Her being your mother. Kasuga-san, you want me to torture you, you say? What better way than this?
Now go! Find the boss and the old woman!
Not a pleasant gentleman, this AG. I've known nicer people in my time.
Worldwide. This is our last Ohio. Kasuga-san.
We'll see if nobody's dying here tonight. Let's do this.
Okay, time for me to absolutely mop the floor with these fights by being overleveled. I'm ready. I am overleveled with the highest power weapons I can have. Chitose is the only person on the party now who doesn't have her fully leveled up weapon for this class. So, we'll see. Can she party wipe this entire encounter with one attack? I don't know if she's statted for it yet, but we'll give it a go. Okay, like, you did like 2/3 of everyone's damage. It's still, we're still gonna for now need to get Ichiban do the big laser to do a party wipe. But we don't need the pound mates to play these fights out in single hits, that's good.
Chitose's right, Kasuga. We should pull back for now.
Damn it! Let's try that building.
We're gonna take the long route around, try and find somewhere from a neighboring building to somehow get into the building we actually want to get into. There'll be something convenient up there that'll let us do it, right?
It's H-Chan again. Where the hell is he?
Are there cameras here or something?
Oh, indeed there are. I'm watching every move you make. Now then, try your best to
Blah, blah, blah.
Over here!
Too bad for all of you that I am incredibly fucking powerful.
I can do this.
Come on, Chitose. One hit kill them. No, you're still not ready.
Ready when you are.
Ah, screw it. Let's regular melee them. The rest of my party members can probably one-hit kill most of these. With just regular melee attacks. Okay, fine, I'll use my bloomin' specials. Chitose, you gotta get a little stronger. Essence of Endless Kung Fu. We'll let Adachi get strong. I love the way that the action star special moves are designed. Beautifully exaggerated in its framing. Okay, onward and upward. Go, go, go. Gonna head upstairs, try and find a way over. Ichiban, go, go, go. Terra says, I wish my dad could see this game. He would love it. There are bits of this game I would love to show my mum plays video games. She's played them over the years. She had a Game Boy Advance SP at one point in the past. She loves VR games today. She plays a lot of VR games. She's got a Quest headset. But I still don't always feel like she understands fully what big modern video games have become. And there are moments with this game where I'm like, I would love to show her just some out of context bits of this game and go, yeah, here's what, you know how I write about video games all the time, here's what video games are up to at the moment.
Oh man, what the hell is this?
You know, there are bits I definitely wouldn't show her, but there are bits of this game that I think she would find fascinating.
Because you've made it this far, Kasuga-san, I have a special present.
Oh, it wouldn't be Like a Dragon without us having to fist fight a couple of construction material machines.
I'm sorry, again? What the hell is wrong with you guys?
Here they come.
Yeah, Chitose, sorry about this. This is not the first time that Ichiban and Adachi have had a fight like this. Excavator, that's the word I was looking for. You know what, I'm gonna throw a basketball at one of these excavators. Boom.
Cool.
Okay, Ichiban cannot do... Oh, you can't do dolphin dive on them. Okay, we'll do the Ahui Aloha. We'll beat him up with the big ice thing. Okay, Essence of Gaia's Wrath. It's not going to be particularly strong because he's at high health, but it'll do. Essence of Improvisation we can't do on you. You're not human build characters, so I can't do most of my fun stuff on you. Yeah, even without being able to do all my cool attacks, this really isn't going to be too big of a problem. Right, we could... Yeah, Honolulu hips. Yeah, Ichiban, just go hit with your big hitting stick.
Looks like I'm up.
Resistant to burning arrow will do Gaia's Wrath.
Let's go.
Are you scared?
Well, I'm waiting.
Yeah, heavy beat down.
Nice. Look at me go.
Think I'm getting better? Yes, I'm a
Level ups all over the place. Okay, nowhere else to run. We should probably save before we make progress. Thank you, Adachi, for pointing out the save locations. There's about to be a lot of battles. You might want to save. Thank you, Adachi. Okay, can I? Yeah, I'm feeling ready. Let's go. Let's go, go, go.
Most impressive. Still, I wonder how long you'll last.
Blah, blah, blah.
This way! Come!
Some guys just can't take a hint.
Shit! The hell do we do now?
Ichiban! Over here! High five!
Tomizawa, I don't know what the fuck you have planned, but I'm here
Hey,
for
good
it.
idea, Tomy. So we're gonna fight them with this, right?
Are you nuts? A mob that size, they'll flood us in no time.
You think I don't know that? Just shut up and let me drive, all right?
Tomizawa?
Wait, you're not.
Tomizawa?
No, 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 no.
Tomizawa? This might be the most ridiculous idea anyone has in this entire game. Like, the game should end here. There is no world in which any of the party members should survive that. Like, this is a game where I can fire an orbital laser from space. This is the most unbelievable thing in this game, not the space laser. The fact that those, particularly those who were outside of the main cabin of the excavator, just sort of get up and they're like, yeah, I'm alright. Terra says, Snarky Laura is such a delight. I would love to hear her respond to a real villain monologue. Snarky Laura happens sometimes. Sometimes I'm just in the mood to be a little bit snarky. And it's only ever at things that I, like... Okay, there's two versions of Snarky Laura. There's I'm genuinely frustrated with a thing, and there's I love a thing, but I'm just in a little sassy mood. How the hell did you get out of that alive, Chitose? I don't know.
Hey!
Okay, they're down there. Okay, we've been split up. We gotta do 2-on-2 fights for a minute because we got thrown very differently out of the excavator.
This was part of the plan. Mai's gonna be pissed.
Well, we're here to help, all right? Cool.
I must say, I do love the concept of this fight. That like we're fighting essentially, we're fighting two different RPG battles in two different parts of the room at the same time.
There, driver's ed. I got us in, didn't I?
Dumbass. Whatever, let's make this quick.
Like, I like that it's not finish one fight then go to the other. It's like, no, it's this person's turn. They're over the other side. You can just about see Chitose and Ichiban up the top doing their fight.
I can do this.
Essence of Puppy Playtime. I don't know if I've done this one on stream yet. Chitose's fun new attack. Go, Murder Labrador Squad, go! I did it! I got the frisbee!
You got it.
Let's go. Here I come.
Oh, come on. Burning Arrow. It's a strong attack. Okay, we finished one half. And if you finish one half before the other half come and help you in the fight. Right, isn't this a fun little fight setup?
You guys in one piece?
Yeah, we're fine. Time to take these chumps down.
It's a nice little concept. And they deliberately put the one high-leveled enemy in Ichiban's half of the fight, so that it's most likely that the other half will finish first, and they'll come join to help with the tougher enemy, but also like be heading toward the direction of progression within the level. Like, it's smart level design. Because Ichiban is having his half of the fight near where progress is. So they try and ensure that, like, the fight ends up bringing everyone to that location just inherently. Yeah, let's just do regular attacks. We don't need to be wasting MP on these kind of enemies. And nothing. Look at the melt. Let's go. Where is Mother? Are you safe, Mother? Are you safe from the assassins? Safe. Let me in. Give me the good items.
Should I open it? Sweet.
Ah, you've all got the little blue dots above your head. You are going to be really easy for us to damage sweep. Come on, Chitose. Just wipe out like one fight's worth of people in a single go. Don't. Okay, fine. We'll get the laser. Don't make me waste Ichiban's MP on the laser. Okay, so we need to go this way. Oh, we can go this way.
Awfully quiet here.
A healing point and a save point, you say?
Waiting on the next floor. Let's take a...
I wonder if there's a boss fight proximate in this big grand room.
Welcome, Kasuga-san.
Hey-chan?
Oh, you didn't think you'd outwit me, did you? Really, Kasuga-san, I know you all too well by now. Every simple little thought.
Must be easy squawking up in your perch like that.
This coming from your mice pet.
Say what?
Hey-chan, throw whatever you want at me. I'll just bash my way through. I'm a simple man after all.
You'll lose your edge sooner or later. I can't wait. Anyway, I think we've said enough. Best of luck to you.
I'll sue you. All right, let's go.
Okay, I'm up.
Thimba says, fun fact, the other day I saw a streamer here on Twitch say she lives between Japan and Hawaii, and I was like, ooh, I'm having Infinite Wealth flashbacks. I said this at the start of playing through this. Apparently there is a pretty big Japanese-speaking population within Hawaii. It's not surprising to hear that, like, someone living between Hawaii and Japan is not the most surprising thing in the world to hear, from what I understand. Not a thing I was super aware of before this game, and before talking to people while playing through it. Ooh, Incompetent Hero. We were talking about this on stream earlier. Steve Spawn, his infrared tracking hat and some other tools weren't supported, and I know that, like, I saw publicly that the CEO of the Helldivers studio suggested to Steve, like, oh yeah, we'll DM. I haven't seen an update since then. Can you link me to where you've seen like, that they are going to do something about the anti-cheat to make sure it isn't preventing accessibility devices. Because I haven't seen any updates since yesterday, the let's move to DMs. But someone in chat earlier, I think it was Thimba, suggested they'd seen that the anti-cheat was being taken out. And I've definitely not seen anything saying the anti-cheat's being taken out. But, like, my assumption is that they would make, like, just specific exemptions for particular bits of hardware or software that Steve sort of brought up. But if it is the case that they have said they're doing something and being specific, that seems really cool, and I want to know about it because I should probably write about it tomorrow.
Ready when you are.
Let's go.
Not playing around. Get rid of them.
Let me have another look. Let me just look generally on Steve's Twitter. I'd looked at the specific tweet. I hadn't gone to the rest of his Twitter to see if he'd posted anything. The most recent bit with that move to DMs, it was something I was reading about on my lunch break. Okay, so you're the second person who's come into chat and has, like, presented it as if it has been announced that something is being done. Like, you've suggested they're now actively working to prevent any accessibility devices from being blocked. I would like to believe that's the case. They've asked what programs and software are causing him issues, and they've moved to DMs. That is... I hate to be a pessimist. That is not the same as them having announced they're going to do anything. And I say this as someone who is like, I know I sound skeptical. I've seen more than once developers of games of this scale talking to people of, you know, Steve Spawn's scale and promising they will look into doing something about anti-cheat blocking accessibility stuff, and then nothing ever coming of it. Because a lot of the time it'll filter up to a publisher, and I'm not saying this is what will happen here, and a publisher will go, yeah, but don't compromise the anti-cheat. And that'll be the end of the conversation. I really hope it happens. I'm excited that they responded and moved it to DMs, and I am hopeful that they are gonna do something about it. But until her change has been made, I would be cautious to say a change has happened. Incompetent Hero says, I view the CEO engaging with the affected person directly, looking for concrete info, as actively working on it. No, that's you're not wrong to assume that, and this is me being like the in the weeds on this, cynic on this. Until they do something about it, I don't want to go, they're doing something about it. Because I've seen too many stories of the public-facing response of, oh, please tell me more, let's talk in DMs, to be publicly, because they need to be publicly seen not ignoring the big accessibility person, but that not leading to anything. And I very much hoping to believe that won't be the case here, but I'm just... Until something is until they have said, we're going to do blank, or we're looking into blank solution, like, as I say, I heard earlier in the stream it put as they're removing the anti-cheat. Like, I'm not going to assume anything until anything happens. Sorry, I'm being a skeptical little grumpus here. Incompetent Hero says, I think you're being justifiably hesitant being in the position you are as accessibility focused. Yeah, I am a pessimist on these things because one too many times, like, I could pull up a list. I have a list as part of my, like, history of gaming accessibility, and, like, I'm not necessarily going to always include it in the talks, but there is a whole section in my, like, note-taking for my talk I did for university recently about, like, the history of accessibility in video games. There's a whole section that is, times that a publisher or developer reached out to affected person and said, oh, tell us more info, we'd love to fix this for you. And then, once it moved to a private channel of communication, it just went silent. That's, like, a whole thing. And I don't think it's nearly as common today. In, like, I'd say in the last 4 years since The Last of Us Part 2, since the big mainstream push of accessibility, it's a lot more uncommon. But, like, particularly, like, 2004 through like 2019, it was a weirdly common response. The publicly ask for more info so it looks like you're trying to help, and then not actually do it.
How to destroy him?
I agree. I agree with Incompetent Hero saying I was glad it was a real major employee, not a brand account with a bot response. I agree, and I'm glad that they, well, not only were like personally let me know, but also here is the developer Twitter and the game Twitter, in case anyone on those teams would have any immediate insight. But yeah, the fact that the CEO was like, let's directly communicate rather than just like, here's an email, send something over to the team. It is a good sign. But again, until something is done, my fear is always that it turns into, oh, we did look into it, but there's no way to whitelist your program or your tech while keeping the anti-cheat, and we've got to keep the anti-cheat, so sorry about that.
Oh, damn, there's no way.
Terra says, I've seen it happen all the time in many aspects of life. People promising easy accessibility, but when in person they just refuse to help. It's... We're at a weird point in the industry now where, like, developers know they need to pay attention to accessibility, and some of them will make promises and then go, oh, I didn't actually check whether we could do that. Oh. Ah, fuck. Again, I sound way more pessimistic than I mean to, because I'm trying to, you know, be a historian here about it. I think it's exciting that the tweet was responded to, and I do think the signs suggest something probably will be done. But I'm gonna hold off on reporting on it until we see a response and we see what form the response does take.
Sorry if I messed this up.
But I can say that while also going, it's exciting. It's positive that within a day, like, the top person in the company was like, give me more info so I can look into this.
You don't know when to quit.
Okay, we probably got this. There we go.
Who knew I had it? Hey!
Think I'm getting better.
Levels for all.
Lonnie's coming back with us. And Akane-san's staying right here. As for you, Eichan, you'll be seeing me soon. There's lots of things I need to say to you. Hang tight.
Yeah, Terra, I've heard that one a lot about taxis.
I'm nothing but trouble.
The number of times I've heard people who are wheelchair users who will, like, book a vehicle that is meant to be accessible for them, and the vehicle will pull up and it won't be the accessible vehicle that was promised, and the driver will literally pull up, see the wheelchair, and just drive off. It's like, oh, cool. That's chill of you. Timber says, I'm so happy Little Gator Game is being added to Game Pass as a broken gamer who had to spend like $1,000 on a new laptop. Buying games in the luxury I can afford. Little Gator Game's adorable. It's very good. It's very charming. It is a very wholesome... It's a wholesome time. It is one of those games where I'm like, I know wholesome is like the blasé word at the moment, but like, yeah, it's the word for it.
Akane-san, were you
And yeah, as Active Criticism says, sometimes people genuinely intend to help, but it gets lost in the shuffle a bit, you know.
It might still be dangerous here for a while.
Who you talking to? It's been dangerous here from day one. Besides, I'm pretty sure I got all the backup I need.
I really hope Yamai is like a regular part of this series going forward. I really hope Yamai is like the Majima of the RPGs.
She's at Nelly Island if she's anywhere. Akane-san, no one knows where the place is. Is it possible you two?
I'm sorry, I don't. They guard that secret tightly. Even among the devout, it's only the few in the inner circle who are told.
I understand. No use worrying about it then. We'll find her, no matter what it takes. Now, I just need you to get yourself somewhere safe, okay? See you soon. Right. Ready to move?
Chill there, Kasuga.
Huh?
Akane-san, take a few minutes together.
It's just... Lonnie's still out there, and...
You can get back to Lonnie as soon as you do this. Talk to that one now. Talk, while there's still time for talk.
Before we dig into this absolutely wonderfully written conversation we're about to have, I had a really lovely day today. Without getting too much into specifics, I had a really productive accessibility consult with an indie dev today. And I think I can put it this way. I spoke with a developer who has been following accessibility as a series for a long time, who was looking for some consulting on some specific things. And all of their documentation made me very happy because I looked through it and was like, oh, I can see that, like, anything I've ever made a video on, you've put as a bullet point on have we implemented it, have we not? Like, we've implemented it, we're working on implemented it, we're not going to implement it, or we're not sure whether it applies to us. And, like, anything I'd ever brought up on that show was on this list of, like, we've either done it, or we're in the middle of doing it, or we've worked out we're not going to do it, and here's why, or we don't know if we need to do it. Can you help us work out if we need to do it? And it was a really satisfying experience of going, you've done so much more homework and, like, thought before coming to me to ask the questions than so many of the big studios do when they ask me, like, consulting stuff. It was so nice to come in and go, you've paid attention to the stuff I put out for free into the world before you came and, like, asked me questions. Thank you for not wasting my time. It was very satisfying. It was a good day today, work-wise. Anyway, conversation with Mum before the end game kicks off.
All this time, we haven't had a chance to speak. There are things I'd like to say.
Me too. Yamai was, right about that.
Sawashiro-san wrote me letters. I actually know quite a bit about you. Shangri-La's manager took you in as a baby. Kamurocho folks looked after you growing up. By middle school, you were a hellion. Fighting must have come naturally to you.
Well, wait a sec. Things back then, I made a lot of mistakes. Hey, if Captain Sawashiro told you all that, does that mean he kept tabs on me as a kid?
Sawashiro-san always had an eye on you, for my sake.
Ichiban, you weren't nearly as alone of a child as you thought.
You called Masumi-san for help one day. Almost like it was fate.
Yeah.
I don't know if I believe in fate. I'm sure grateful
Like,
it happened that way, though.
Yeah, like, for context, for anyone that doesn't remember, like, Ichiban's whole thing of how he ended up in the Yakuza was, like, he was doing some petty crime and he, like, got pulled in by some Yakuza group. And to avoid getting his throat slit, he said he was working for Arakawa. He threw out a name he'd heard somewhere that he heard was an important Yakuza person. And he wasn't working for Arakawa, but they got Arakawa in, and he was like, yeah, this is one of my guys, don't fuck with him. That one name that he remembered hearing was like, that guy's a big deal, maybe throwing his name out will save my skin. The name he threw out was his dad. He didn't know it at the time, but he called out his dad's name, and his dad took a chance on him, not knowing this was his kid. neither of them knew what the dynamic was, but one called out for help and the other stepped in to help, and that is really sweet. I really like that. There is something akin to fate in it.
I know what happened to you after all that.
I love how Akane's written
They
and
had you
performed.
take the blame for a murder.
She was so good.
18 years. So much lost time.
Kane's son.
The skin's gone tough. You've been fighting for so long.
No, it's not how you think.
Forgive me. I left you and Masumi-san alone. I was scared and ran away. I'm sorry. With all my heart, I'm sorry.
Don't apologize to me, Akane-san. There's nothing to be sorry for. Of course, I had tough times now and then. You wouldn't believe what Captain Sawashiro put me through. So yeah, maybe I've had a pretty crazy life, all things considered. Know what, though? Everyone else has to. Akane-san, we all deal with life as it comes. You did, and I still got to meet you. What more could I ask for? Like you said, I always had people looking out for me.
Yeah, he didn't know it, but he did.
And the boss was the best father in the world. Honestly, I'm so lucky. Look,
I'm so glad Ichiban appreciates the not blood relatives who raised
I
him.
don't know for sure if you gave birth to me or you know what I mean. But if it was you, then I've only got one thing to say. You gave me my life. I'm very grateful.
I think you can really hear it, that Akane's English voice actress is 81 years old.
Thank you.
I think there's a real quality to her voice that you can hear in that authentic casting.
Just now, I saw Masumi-san standing where you are.
Oh, come on. You know that's the best compliment.
I just looked at you and I saw the dad that you always wanted to be like. Is a hell of a compliment to get from your mum.
I remember now. Here.
Yeah, she's 81. I think the Japanese voice actress is a lot younger, but the English voice actress, I believe she's 81.
Bosses. Masumi Arakawa's remains. I'd like you to have them.
Oh, she looks young, but I think, well, Ichiban's like in his 40s. I think he's in his mid-40s.
Thank you.
She would have to be at least in her 60s, if not 70-ish. Akane.
I've missed you, Masumi-san.
She does such a good job in this role.
Oh.
Akane's English voice actress is so good. I mean, like, we can do the rough maths. Like, we know what Ichiban's canon age is, and we see Akane in a flashback when she's pregnant, and we can probably work out roughly how old she is when she's pregnant. She's going to be at least 20. Akane in character is going to be at least, like, 65, like, minimum. That's if she got fairly young. But,
Daigo Dojima, Taiga Saijima, and Goro Majima.
we're back to Japan for a bit.
Yeah, add Kiryu-san to the mix, and you've got yourself a Yakuza Hall of Fame.
Yeah, maybe in the sense that we're all retired. So you're going, right? To see him, I mean?
Yeah.
Now we gotta go collect even more characters from past Yakuza games.
Don't know if you meant this, but, you don't think you're flying solo, do you? Like that'd help. Come on now, Kiryu-san. Someone's gotta watch your ass.
Not exactly how I'd have worded it, but he's right. We're in this together.
Thanks, guys. Gonna be a long trip. Let's make sure we're ready.
I need to make time soon to, like, sort this half of the party's, like, endgame weapons out.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're gonna try and find all the old characters that used to be, like, Kiryu's besties that he would fight alongside and see if they'll help us in fixing the Japan half of this story. Okay, is there anything to do in this side other than go progress the main plot? Does Date-san have more nonsense for us to do? Kiryu, try not to trip down the stairs, it's not good for you. There we go, here's Date-san wanting us to have more flashbacks to the past.
If you have time, come to Harbor Light, will you?
Sure, understood.
Okay. Do we have any of the, like, the friendship scenes to do right now? It seems like there's a couple of side questy bits about. Just check if there's any of these bits I need to pick up. Okay, let's see if we can find whatever these side quests are on the way. Incompetent Hero says, I miss Tachibana and Nishiki. They should show up as Force Ghosts or something. Look, at this point, this series will find a way to bring anyone back. They'll find excuses for everything now. What's going on in here that the plot wants? Akane's history started around 1978 at the bathhouse. Let's say she was like 20. She would be 68 now. Yeah, that was my call. She's got to be mid to late 60s at her youngest. Oh, have you got a side quest for me, bartender, who we're pretending we don't know each other?
Thanks. Alright if I stop in?
We're both pretending to not be who we are.
Always welcome here, friend.
Yeah, so this bartender looks suspiciously like a guy who's supposed to be dead. Kiryu looks suspiciously like Kiryu, a man who's meant to be dead. And the two of them are just being like, yep, never met you before.
No, of course not. I apologize.
Just a little joke I have. After all, there's always something on my face.
Can I ask, have you been in Yokohama a long time?
Well, now, I haven't kept count. Must be over a decade at this point.
Huh. That is quite a while. One more question, sorry. Do you happen to have a favorite food?
Good question. Why do you ask?
Cold noodles. Any chance you're, partial to them?
Guilty as charged. I do fancy a bowl now and again, yes.
It's just... I once knew someone who preferred them as well. He was practically an older brother.
Just fucking admit that you know who each other are. Look, I just want to, like, reiterate how stupid this fucking interaction is. People in this bar have multiple times called Kiryu in front of this bartender's face. Why are the two of you playing this game?
To him. I couldn't help thinking that.
Just admit that you are each other's old friends and that you both faked your death and that you're quite happy to see each other.
Forgive me. This isn't your concern.
Nonsense, sir. So long as I'm proprietor, my customers' concerns are my own.
Makes me feel a bit better to hear that.
Suzuki-san, I get the sense you've endured some hardships. Enough time spent behind a bar, you can read most by their face alone.
Then tell me, bartender, what do I have on my face?
You?
Kiryu's
were always
face.
strong. So you never learned to ask for help. And too few know when you've been hurt. That's the impression I get, anyway.
Definitely the impression you get from seeing him at the bar and not from knowing him for years.
That's how almost every man starts seeing himself past middle age. Especially the ones with such worn and chiseled faces.
Sounds like that must apply to you, too.
Before I came to own this place, I also lived in a world with no room for weakness. Forget it. It's not important.
Whatever you say.
Let me put it like this. I was raised believing that vulnerability was the enemy of survival. I carried that dogma with me for too long. Is it the same for you, perhaps, Suzuki-san?
Are you saying your outlook's changed since then?
I accept help when offered now, to one degree or another, while trying to give those around me whatever help I can.
Admit that you know each other and offer each other help and support.
Maybe that's what it means to have a real home. And to do more with life than just survive it.
That's an admirable point of view.
You've fought so many battles and loved so many people. Maybe all that's left of you are your scars.
You imagine, because you don't know this
A
man.
just world when men like you can't be promised a good, proud ending.
Come on. I already know you say that to all the guys.
I'm saying it to you. Saying it as someone who's found a happiness here that I worry you never could.
Like, to be fair, I get what the underlying conversation of this is, hey, I faked my death, but, like, I actually committed to it. I found a place to set up, I made myself a new little life, I wasn't afraid to make new connections as this bartender, and to find myself some peace and stability and happiness in my new having to pretend I'm not who I was. You aren't affording yourself that. You're constantly, like, living on the edge of catastrophe in your faked death, rather than just finding a way to make connections again because you're afraid of losing them like you did before.
You've been denied peace and rest. You've been denied something as precious as your name itself. But right now, for this one moment, you have people willing to help you if you ask them to. After all the tragic mistakes, their camaraderie is what proves you're still a noble man.
Hey, is it just me, or are they staring at us right now?
The bartender's never usually so chatty. Wonder what they're saying.
I can't simply tell you to embrace vulnerability, but try depending on them while you can. After all, you're getting up there in years. You're almost too big to be told what to do.
It's uncanny. You're so much like him, bartender. My old Aniki in another life.
May I say, sir, that if the day does come when you're able to take back your name, I'd like to see you then. We'll speak frankly. Neither of us will have anything left to
Just
hide.
speak frankly now.
I'll pour you a drink worthy of yourself that day. On the house. Naturally.
For what it's worth, I liked this drink too. I think I should go. Thank you for the conversation, bartender.
The pleasure was mine, friend. Always happy to help.
The bartender should be a summon.
So long.
Sorry, I was just having a very distracting moment there. I was getting a phone call at like 10:30 at night from a number I didn't recognize, but like not a private number, just like a phone number, and I was like, I'm on stream, I'm not going to answer a call from a number I don't recognize. This is my mum. She pocket dialed me. I was doing the thing of I'm not going to answer a call while on stream, not knowing where it's coming from, but I'm like, I will wait until the call stops ringing and then text it back and go like, hey, who this? Who trying to contact me? I was like, don't. It's never. I'm glad it was a pocket dial because I was like, there's no good reason anyone would be calling, like, that I don't know their phone number, like have it saved in my phone, would be phoning me at 10:30 at night. Like, that's not gonna be for anything good. Oh! The bartender is a Poundmate summon, I guess. I'd forgotten he was a Poundmate option. Well, that's good. Right. Let's find this other bit of story that's here. Is this the... I'm assuming this is the Date-san thing, is the other bit of story that's popped up, yeah.
I take a while. You good on time? Yeah.
Who from Kiryu's past are we going to go see this time?
Well, I'll give it to you straight. It's about Akiyama.
Akiyama?
Ah, the lifeline of Kamurocho, the moneylender. Hadn't seen or heard from him in a while.
I take it you heard something?
I did. Seems he'd made his way out of Japan, right about when the Tojo clan and Omi alliance disbanded. So, that would be about 4 years ago.
And what? That's it?
For now, I've tried finding him through all my contacts, but the man's a slippery one. Now, this is rumor-level intel here, but supposedly, he's been sighted in Singapore a few times.
Oh, I haven't thought about Angel
Too,
Beats in
since they were getting
years.
investments from all over. A guy like him would feel right at home.
Well, he's been out of town this long. Any chance he'd even come back?
Every time we met, he'd doubt me like no tomorrow.
God, that is a
Kept saying he
very
just had to
of
be
its
alive.
time art style.
He even guessed I was in on it at one point. But after I kept playing it off, I guess he got fed up. I mean, we're the ones who distanced ourselves from Akiyama. The Daidoji had us promise that. No exceptions.
Yeah, I know. Can't exactly fault him for taking off like that. I'm at least glad to know he's doing well.
It was always a risk, meeting with him. Man might act like a goof, but he's sharp as a tack. The moment you got close enough to listen in, he'd have sniffed you out. If that happened, you can bet the Daidoji would act real fast.
Right. Guess it's time we call it then. You've done more than enough, Date-san. Taichi, Kazuki, Yuya. You even got in touch with Sayama.
Hang on. I didn't call you out here to close up shop. Rather, how would you feel about taking it a step further?
Hmm? What do you mean?
Let's be frank. Daidoji doesn't care who you see. At least, I don't think. That's fair to assume, right? I mean, you haven't gotten any complaints, have
I mean, the Daidoji have allowed you to be, like, to take a lot of risks with people finding out you might be alive.
They're letting us get away with it. A or B, I say we go all in and get in touch with who you want to see most. If I had to guess, that'd be Haruka.
You hit the nail on the head. Ichiban wants to see
declared
his
yourself a dead
daughter and grandson,
and all
basically.
But disappeared. That's the promise you made with the Daidoji. If you went and broke that promise, well, I can't imagine it end well for you.
Let Ichiban see his, essentially, his
Wait,
kids.
Date-san.
What's up?
When this place gets so quiet, I don't even hear anyone outside.
Oops, are we about to start seeing consequences for Date carelessly
So what's the deal?
bringing us into close proximity with people who are definitely not meant to know we're alive?
Tell you one thing, though. They definitely didn't come here for a drink. What's wrong? You wanted to fight? Well, here I am. Come on!
Well, let's get started. You're going to regret
Okay. Now, none of this half of the party have their ultimate weapons, but everyone is pretty high level. I need to off stream probably tomorrow work out what classes I want to finish the game as this side and get them their best weapons.
In fact, they moved like pros.
Right. Guess they're not done yet.
Oh hey, speak of the devil, it's that guy that didn't believe that Kiryu was dead and was pretty convinced that Date was covering it up.
Boys called the White Masks. They'll work for anyone who pays them. Need some skulls cracked? They're there to please.
Hang on. Just what are you... Akiyama?
Not every day someone holds their own against White Masks, let alone this many.
Yeah, so you know how up until this point, every time Date's been like, hey, you deserve some closure with someone, like, you know, I'll get them to, like, say nice things about you while you're, like, stood just out of eyesight, and we pretend you're still dead. Yeah, this is at least one of those people who's literally, like, contrived a way to be like, fucking knew you were alive, Kiryu. Like, I get it, but please don't acknowledge that I'm alive. I don't want the orphans to get killed.
And after seeing you fight, there's no mistaking it. Do me a favor and be up front, eh? Kiryu-san?
I literally am not allowed to admit I'm Kiryu.
Still with the cold shoulder routine. All these years, and you can't bend a little?
Wait.
It's not that I
So
don't
you
want
knew the
to.
whole setup was you?
Sure was.
I literally just want the orphans not to die.
He'd give me
And
the same crap about you being dead. No doubt he'd keep that up if I hadn't caught you red-handed. Hmm?
That's just... You can't...
Oh, so you would have been honest with me this time around?
Well,
See? There he goes again.
Akiyama, what the hell?
I think the two of them probably...
I'm stupid.
I can't blame Akiyama for punching the two of them. He's like, you fucking pretended to be dead and you told me he was dead. I miss my friend. I can understand the anger coming from you're my friends and I want... Couldn't you have found a way to tell me you were okay?
Both of you!
It's a loving punch in the
It was
face.
pretty obvious. No way in hell you'd die that easily. And sure enough, right when the Tojo and Omi disbanded, I got word that old 6 feet under Kiryu made a surprise visit.
No, that was Joryu. Joryu did the
I
disbanding
figured for
the
sure things must have
Yakuza.
cooled down by then. But nope. That was all she wrote. Kazuma Kiryu's glorious return.
I mean, the bad guys showed up in a small group this time explicitly because this guy only hired a small group of them to try and lure
Not even
Kiryu
going
out.
my way either. I guess I didn't matter since I'm not part of your little gang.
They're gonna murder the orphans if I tell you I'm alive.
How'd you know where we were?
I asked a buddy to keep tabs on everything. Trail Date-san and see if maybe anything's changed. Date-san was the key. Surely he'd find a way to get in contact with Kiryu-san. Lo and behold, just the other day, I hear old Date's been frequenting a certain bar out in Ijincho. All I had to do was come back to Japan, play my cards right, and poof. Here I am, and there you are. So, with that out of the way, maybe it's time you explained yourself.
And just what is it you want me to tell you? Why I had to become a ghost?
I'll take anything so long as it's good. You and your pal here are done playing me for a fool.
I'm a method actor portraying Kazuma Kiryu in an upcoming film is the perfect fucking response.
I ain't apologizing yet, by the way. I'm still ready to kick you across the street.
Hey now, not funny.
Fine. I'll tell you everything. Looks like you finally won, Akiyama.
So that's it then. That's the story. So what, Kiryu-san? You made a pact with this Daidoji faction to protect Haruka-chan and Haruto-kun?
Sorry, I have to stop this. I just read a fucking headline, and I thought I was being being punked. I thought it was like a The Onion or a Clickhole headline. No, it's a real thing. I'm reading it on Kotaku right now, and fucking hell. Of course this story breaks just a few hours after Podquisition records for the week. Let me just read the fucking Kotaku headline. Kanye West allegedly did a Super Mario dance after threatening a staffer. There are allegations of workplace abuse against Kanye West, which is not in any way surprising. There is a lawsuit happening. It's being covered by Rolling Stone. But I now need to... I'm not going to go over any of the, like, actually depressing... I'll get to what a Mario dance is in a second. I'm not going to go over any of the depressing stuff in here, other than to say believe accusers, and this sounds very in line with Kanye West as of the last several years, but... Okay. The lawsuit then states that Kanye West physically threatened Phillips, the abuser, saying he was going to punch Phillips in the face. Then the lawsuit describes a sudden shift in mood, in which Kanye West imitated the, quote, celebratory dance of Mario from the famous video game Super Mario Bros. And then they go on to describe what this means. West jumped up, punching one fist in the air, and said, "I'm gonna give you one more chance, another life," in a Mario voice. So the image is Kanye West jumping up on a table, punching the air as if he's punching a power-up block, which is definitely a celebratory dance, and going, "I'm gonna give you one more chance, another life." That is apparently a thing that happened, that is in a real lawsuit. Now, the story here is Kanye West did fucking workplace abuse on an employee, and that's fucking shit, and, like, you know, go read the story if you wanna read. It seems like a heavy read. But yeah, threatening to attack someone who works for you and then jumping up and pretending to be Mario? I don't know how to emotionally process that, so we're gonna go back to we're gonna go back to Yakuza.
I did.
Oh.
I needed to be dead to the world, and I had to keep silent to make good on
He's
my word.
Kanye West is
Someday
not
someday I made
okay.
that promise. I made him my sole witness. It was my fault he couldn't tell you all this time. You want to blame someone? Blame me.
Timber says
Like
at
I
least
even
it's not
could
worse
after
than when
all
I hear
that.
JK is on the news. I'm assuming JK Rowling. I mean, Kanye, like a year and a bit ago, Kanye West went on a real fucking anti-Semitic tirade for a while. Like, his whole personality for a couple of months became, Hitler maybe wasn't such a bad guy. Anyway, maybe the Jews are secretly evilly running the world. Anyway, I'm also going to show up in, like, a black morph suit for interviews. Kanye West is not doing well right now. He is not great. Which is why I'm not surprised to hear a story of workplace abuse sounds in line with Kanye West as of late.
Actually, not now that I know you're dying.
Sorry. You know, it doesn't matter who I tell. They always start treating me nice.
Oh, brother. And you just had to lay it on me, huh?
So what you been up to, Akiyama? You snuck away from Kamurocho without so much as a peep.
Well, as you know, I get smitten pretty easily.
Also, a new study has
Before
found
I knew it,
estrogen
I chased
increases
some girl way
lifespan.
out the country.
So, hey, if you want to
Thanks for
live
that,
longer,
however. I got to take it
come
easy.
trans women.
Almost feel guilty
You know,
now. What with how
come for the increased lifespan, stay for the tits.
Well, I heard you left at a good time. Got out just as the Tojo clan disbanded. Right around then, the governor enacted his Kamurocho 3K plan. Anyone operating even an inch outside the law got shut down.
Yeah, this is
Telling me that
reiterating
must
the
have
plot
thrown
of
a
The
wrench
First
your
Like a
way.
Dragon with
I'm
Ichiban.
sure the police came knocking, yeah?
Hey, if you knew, you could have at least thrown me a bone, huh? The money I handled mostly comes from gray zones, so I had to spread it across the globe to keep it safe.
Right.
Right.
Then you
Look,
ended
if your doctor won't give you estrogen for trans reasons, go to your doctor and be like, hey, there's this study that says estrogen will help me live longer. I know it's going to have, like, side effects like tits, but, like, surely, as my doctor, if I tell you my #1 health priority is I want to live a longer, healthier life, and there's a study that says estrogen will help me do that, surely it's your medical obligation as my general practitioner. Give me that estrogen, though. So that's the new workaround. I'm not trans. I'm just following good sound medical advice to live longer. Can't say no to that, doctor.
up in Singapore.
Wait, what? Singapore? Who said anything about that?
Huh? Was that wrong?
Wrong as can be. But it's not like I tell you the truth either way.
Of course not. We had our secrets, and now Akiyama's returning the favor.
You wouldn't be that stingy, would you?
Sure I would. I'm a moneylender, remember?
Let's not forget he still sicked the Liumang after us, too. You know, I should file a complaint to Sun He. Tell her boys they ought to check their target next time.
Right. Anyway. All in all, I get there wasn't much you could do, given the circumstances. But how long have we known each other? We've taken on countless Yakuza, and been through the ringer. How many times now?
Just tell them you heard
If
it from
you're
Andrew
wondering
Tate and they'll
whether I
give
was
it to
cool
you.
with being left
Yeah,
out,
it's
the
the new
answer's
male enhancement strategy.
Didn't you just say you get it?
You take estrogen and then you, like, will your body into turning it into testosterone. It's actually quite good
You went off to carry that weight
for male health to take estrogen, you know.
That's just
You heard it on a
plain lame.
podcast once. Joe Rogan said it. I will never not find it hilarious that Joe Rogan, right-wing nutjob Joe Rogan, his cousin is Gerard Way, the lead singer of My Chemical Romance.
This might have started off as some Daidoji deal, Kiryu-san. But I'm gonna guess you're in
Their parents are siblings.
Fat chance I'll just sit back and ignore that.
I appreciate it, but if you get involved, I promise to the Daidoji's as good as empty.
Right, the pact you made. And what? You just stick to the shadows the rest of your life?
Yeah, I don't want the
Was there
orphans
really
to
no other
die.
way?
There might have been, but things back then were...
Simba Shaw, what's your crazier
Let's just say
fact?
they were pretty dire.
Hey, well, I sure have never lived life as a dead man, far as I'm aware. Still, I can only imagine how lonely you feel. You can't see Haruka-chan or Haruto-kun, can you?
That's the idea.
Hey now, Kiryu. What'd I tell you earlier? The Daidoji might give you a pass, even to see Haruka. Even if it's just a quick glance. It's great you're keeping your promise, but is it worth it? You don't have much time left.
The orphan's not getting murdered. Yeah, that's it's worth it for Kiryu.
So what if I do meet with Haruka now? Before long, I'll just be...
Also, I think this is really
You'd have to watch
emotionally
me die a second time.
complex. This
Some
whole
get that,
thing.
too.
You sure about that?
Is it fair for me to go get closure with my kind of daughter if I'll be letting her know that I'm alive only for her to find out I have cancer and I'm gonna die soon anyway? She'll get to see me one more time, but she'll have to mourn my loss a second time. I get why Kiryu is cautious of that, but also, like, I think Haruka would just want to see you. Even if she has to mourn you again, she'd get to say a proper goodbye this time. And, like, be with you as you go. I think Haruka would want that. I think it's unfair of Kiryu to take that choice away from Haruka.
Meeting today, seeing you again after so long. It's like whatever I had pent up inside just...
Oh! I'm aware of Mara Wilson, the actress from Matilda. Did not know she was half siblings with Ben Shapiro. I'm aware of Mara Wilson because, like, Mara Wilson, She voices, of all things, like, the main piece of content I consume on a regular basis now that she does something in is Welcome to Night Vale. She is the voice of the faceless old woman who secretly lives in your home, I believe. She's the faceless. I think she's the the faceless old woman in Welcome to Night Vale. Is Mara Wilson from movie not show. Yeah, Mara Wilson from the movie Matilda. Yeah, she's a voice actress in Welcome to Night Vale. Did not know she was fucking half siblings with Ben Shapiro. Gosh darn, that is a weird one. That is a weird one.
Disappeared. For my money,
I'm now realizing that means I have a really close, like, degrees of separation from Ben Shapiro.
I don't know where or who I'd be if not for you.
That's
You
upsetting.
gave me a chance when I was at rock bottom. Of course, you didn't exactly know it then. Right as I'm giving up, I learn about this guy. Some hard-headed lunatic in the same town who kept fighting no matter what he was up against. You're more than you realize, Kiryu-san. It wasn't just opportunity.
Yeah, she's the faceless old
It was
woman,
more
yes.
than some chance. You gave me the courage to keep on living. You made a difference. And because of that, I did all I could to find you. You're a special person to me, believe it or not. And really, I'll bet Haruka-chan feels it even more.
Come off it, Akiyama. I'm nothing special, and you know it.
You believe that?
If I see her again, if I see Haruka, death might actually become scary. Who knows, maybe I'm just a coward.
I wouldn't go that far, Kiryu.
So the Dragon of Dojima has something he fears after all. Feel a lot better about myself, honestly.
Great. Always something to say. You really are.
Mara
sharp
Wilson
as a
and Ben
tack.
Shapiro came from the same mother. Goddamn.
An honor coming from you.
Well, I'd say that settles it then, Kiryu. Next time we do this, I'm bringing Haruka in. She might even have Haruto with her.
You're not serious.
You think I'd say so otherwise?
Seeing you in a whole new light, Date-san. Let me know if there's anything I can do.
If we do one more Date quest,
well, anyway,
we might get to see Kiryu see his daughter and grandson.
Cheers, fellas.
That's the next Date plotline. If we do it, is maybe we bite the bullet and let Kiryu see his kid and grandkid one more time. Incompetent Hero says, these scenes are making me absolutely love this mellow guitar piece in the background. It's such a good, like, bittersweet, melancholy background track. Okay. Oh, now that I know that seeing Haruka and that seeing the two of them is on the cards, I think we got to go back to karaoke purely to do. We got to revisit Kiryu's song about, like, oh, my grandson and his tiny little hands, and he's gonna grow up and he's gonna, like, live a life. But right now his hands are so tiny and I want to protect him. We gotta get a sense of the thing that Kiryu is fighting for here. Oh, which one is it?
Okay,
It's
well, looks like I'm up.
Bakamitai? Oh, it's... Oh, it's hands. Yeah, so I'm just going to drive this emotional nail home. Watch the video that happens in this song. And watch Kiryu sing about his grandkid. This is what we are fighting for here. Oh, God, this song.
The way you look at me throws me for a loop. The miracle of life in your eyes. Wake up in the night to your familiar cry.
Hold you in my arms, your heart over mine. How long will this moment last? You're getting so big so fast, leaving this calendar in the past. Your little hands waiting around and reaching out for everything. You're buzzing around like a bumblebee, but you'll grow strong and you'll fly high. You're gonna soar right over me and give all you got for the one. Take under your wing.
Kiryu deserves to be a parent again. Kiryu, you've lived a life.
Smile and try to hide the sadness deep inside. Standing on your own, trembling as you go. Oh, the tears will cry on the day we say goodbye, leaving the days we knew behind. And though it's cruel as it can be, the world can do a thing to me. Wherever the wind blows, I'm there for you. So there we stand, hand in hand. Maybe we never had it planned, but there's someone out there to trust. Watching over us.
I was really hoping I'd get an unbroken streak, even though it's this whole song. I missed one note there.
You're getting so big so fast. Tell me what kind of dream we've cast. Those little hands, they were my heart, and they did so from the start. It's time that you let go, I'll be okay. But they will grow, and then you'll fly. You're gonna soar into the sky.
Kiryu see his grandkid again.
All you got for someone just like you and I.
So yeah, if we do one more Date quest, this is Kiryu's payoff, is get to see your grandkid and your daughter again. Let him have this. Now, in order to get the last Date quest, I think we need to be level 9 across the board in all of Kiryu's bucket list stats. And the best way to get to level 9 in all those stats, I believe, and it's what I'm going to do here, and there is going to be, like, narrative content associated with it, is we're going to go to every single restaurant in Japan and eat every meal they have. That is the best way I know of to do the thing. So we're going to go one restaurant at a time, and we're just going to eat every single thing on the menu. And this will probably get us a bunch of, like, little conversations where we have just, like, fun little banter with the crew about the various meals we're eating. Does this game have that weird pairing system for food? Yes, but you know how you get around that? You buy one of everything, and then you get the pairings. Sorry, yes. Donald Trump's brother used to work for ZeniMax when he died? Okay, huh? Yeah. Yes, this does have the combo system, but, like, you can kind of avoid it. Okay, so I need, like... okay, it's not the ones with the drink lid. I need the ones that are the knife and fork. Yeah, if you buy absolutely every meal option at once from a place, you get all the bonus combos. But yes, Kiryu will go up in emotion stats for eating everything on a restaurant's menu. So that's what we're gonna do. Is this Zhao's restaurant? This might be Zhao's restaurant. So we order 16 of 16 things. We're now an aficionado of this place. Our soul stat went up. And we get a little conversation about the food here.
What do you think, Kiryu-san? My cooking?
Oh yeah, this is Zhao's place.
As far as the taste goes, I'd say I'm impressed.
Well, get a load of you. You sounded like some food blogger for a second there. Anyway, by the look on your face, it's safe to assume you're enjoying it.
Yeah, I'm kicking myself for missing out on such a delicacy after all this time. Glad I finally wised up.
Hey,
I like that going to all the restaurants has like full voice-acted little dialogue scenes. There is so much completely missable voiced dialogue in this game.
That takes metal. You're first class, as a leader and as a chef.
Oh, really showering me with praise today, huh? You make a good point, though. Reflecting on all the hard work it took to get here just makes my current life as a chef even sweeter.
Never lose sight of that. When you're lucky enough to find a home, you've got to do all you can to protect it.
Kiryu in a food eating contest would fit in well with the rural town / corner gas Yakuza idea. Yeah, it would.
Not like I
Kiryu
did all this for myself alone.
Kiryu has to train for the local poutine eating contest.
Everyone feels welcome. A chill out spot. One where every face you see is a friend. So, come by anytime you like.
That's so.
Yep. There's always gonna be a spot with your name on it.
Still, I just gotta say, this meal, it's something else.
Hooray! Friendships! And I got all the little meal bonuses. But what we're actually here for is to get the tiny little stat boost that comes from eating every meal a restaurant has. And every restaurant has a slightly different... will raise one of Kiryu's 3 stats slightly. I specifically need his stats other than soul to go up. Which is annoyingly the one that went up there. I need his other 2 stats to go up. So I just have to go restaurant to restaurant.
Good old Lin Lin. Actually, Sachan went undercover there. Nearly got her armpits licked. And
Not another word.
Sorry you had to experience that.
Okay, one of everything.
Looks good.
Yeah, basically every restaurant has like a minute or 2 of voice dialogue. This game is ridiculous. It's nonsense.
What's on your mind?
come to think of it, I can't stand having to drink barium at the doctor's. Milk looks similar enough that I was just reminded of it.
I was wondering why you were staring at your drink. What, were you thinking about some kind of medical test, or...?
I've never taken barium. Is it nasty?
Kinda. No, it's less about the taste and more like it's just really tough to swallow. I can barely get it down.
So, it'd be better if they made it more palatable.
No, not necessarily. If the body was tricked into thinking it was good food, that'd activate digestion. And since that raises stomach acid, it'd fork the test.
Whoa. To be expected from Mr.
Is that
X-Man.
real? If you think that medicine is food, your body will digest it more and make it worse?
Now that joke is what's really tough to swallow.
That doesn't seem like it should be science, but also bodies are weird. I don't doubt that that could be real. Onward, we must eat at more restaurants. All of the restaurants. I gotta remember to go to that one, the next street over. Incompetent Hero says, I love hearing other people use balked for something being wrecked. Agreed. Balked is not a frequently enough used term. We need more balked. Things being balked. One of everything on your menu, good sir. Jank is good too. Okay, this raised the body stat. That's good. That's one of the ones we need.
Looks good. Huh. This frozen dessert is really tantalizing. The outer shell is crispy.
You've never had ice brulee before? I also didn't know what to think at first. It's caramelized on the outside, but cold and creamy inside.
So it really is burnt ice cream. Oh, it cracked. That's crazy.
If you're enjoying it so much, then the ice brulee must feel like it's fulfilled its purpose.
No, the burnt part really takes it to the next level. A savory, bittersweet taste really makes it irresistible. Now that I think of it, whenever Jungi eats fried rice, he really enjoys the burnt bits.
The heck? Is he still a kid?
Well, I can actually relate to that. Whenever I get some of those crispy
Yes, you
bits,
can
it's
consume
like
as much
finding
alcohol
a
as you
little
want in this, and as much food. Neither food nor
Maybe I should
alcohol
keep a
is
blowtorch
like
on hand.
appetite limited anymore,
Not to
which
the
is just really convenient for trying to get his last stats up in this. You can just eternally eat everything in every restaurant back to back, and it is so convenient for the kind of shit I'm trying to do at this moment, where I'm trying to brute force this man's stats up by eating everything. Yes, Terra, I realized that, yes, the dry arc was this is the one where dry and wet arc were each 4 episodes rather than 3, so I apologize for telling you it was about to be wet arc. But finally nearly time for return to wet arc.
Looks good.
This omurice is next level. So tender.
Yeah? The chef's got great technique. They sure know their stuff.
Whenever I see omurice, I'm always reminded of the maid cafe that I used to visit with a former coworker.
Oh, right. How could you not associate maid cafes with omurice? The maids draw on it with ketchup for the customers.
But from your tone, it doesn't sound like you had a good experience with it.
That's not it. Considering my age, I just feel like I embarrassed myself when I did the little chant, you know? The one that supposedly makes the food taste better. By the end of it, I wanted to crawl into a hole and disappear. Oh, I cringe hard each time I remember it.
I forgot that you can be kind of self-conscious like that, Nanchan.
To improve the taste. But what's this chant you mentioned?
Yeah, there are words you chant in unison with the maid while you make a heart with your hands. Well, you know about it too, right, Kiryu-san?
Oh, is this like... Come on, get tasty, pretty please. Is this like Build-A-Bear and having to do the little pageantry at Build-A-Bear?
Come on, get tasty. Pretty please.
Wow, you actually got it right. It's amazing how you didn't hesitate even for a second.
Well, you know how it is.
You gotta do the charm, make the food tasty.
Enjoy their meal when given a show like this.
A chant infused with the power of the Dragon of Dojima himself. Hey, we all gotta go together sometime. Nanchan can finally redeem himself.
You make it seem like I lost all my dignity back at that maid cafe.
I'll be your moral support.
Huh? For real, Kiryu-san? What the hell? Why not make a better memory with her?
Yeah! Well...
Team, go to the maid cafe. I want that to be a side quest.
We came to start a war.
Thanks for buying.
That was
Certainly food.
I get you. I sometimes will go into narrative heavy stuff and go, I'm just gonna wait until there's a bunch of it and then binge it. But I am currently doing the listen weekly thing for the Magnus Protocol that's just started, and oh, it's painful waiting for more episodes.
I can never get over the size of this burger.
Has to be giant to satisfy that dino.
Oh, I've seen a pumpkin about that big once, around Halloween.
Huge produce like that's edible, but doesn't have much flavor. They're mostly bred for feeding livestock.
Huh. Maybe the dinosaur would like that too, then.
Maybe. Except, isn't the dinosaur carnivorous? He's chasing a burger after all.
Ah!
Look, the burger's got tomato and lettuce. Maybe he's an omnivore?
Now I'm actually curious what this damn thing's hungry for.
Buddy, it's all plaster.
Zhao, don't break the illusion. We can pretend that the dinosaur on the burger place is real and imagine what it wants to eat. Okay, what stat is this going to put up?
Let's dig in.
Soul again. I don't need soul, I need the red and yellow stats.
You know, I love fast food, because you can get a good meal almost straight away. When hunger strikes, nothing beats it.
Well, if your mind and stomach can spare the time, a sit-down place can be fun too. Otherwise, every second feels like an eternity.
Speaking of sit-down places, I was out at lunch the other day and...
Sunhee, you go out to eat?
I have a social life too, believe it or not.
Yeah, that's fair. I just couldn't imagine it is all. Sorry, go on.
Anyway, there was one of those spot the difference books next to the menu. I know they're for kids, but I was bored, so I opened it up. The puzzles were way harder than I thought. I wanted to finish it so badly, I completely forgot to eat. By the time I finished solving them all, it was
I
dark out.
love the thought of Seon-hee.
Okay,
Like-
so I overdid it. But the restaurant puts them there to keep you entertained, right?
I love the thought of being the restaurant worker who's watching Seon-hee go for like 8 hours not ordering any food because she's really dialed in on the children spot the difference. Beautiful
Every place
image.
should have that.
Maybe. But if they only got customers like you, they probably wouldn't be in business too long.
Thankfully, I don't think there's too many of those.
I love these little, like, innocuous little character details that come out of all the stupid daily chats.
Food.
And hearing Seon-hee describe what she's eaten as certainly food, which is her favorite descriptor of meals, it seems. It's fine, we'll get those stats up in no time. More meals. Give me all of these. All 16 meals at once. 11,000 yen.
Let's dig in.
That's like only £110. That's not that bad.
Looks
Real
good.
meal. Beef bowls are a man's best friend. Super extra large is the only way to go.
They live up to their slogan, tasty, quick, and cheap. I've been a loyal customer for as long as I can remember.
That catchy slogan sure gets stuck in your head. It sounds simple, but succeeding at all three is a challenge.
Right. And they definitely live up to it. Wish I had a slogan too.
You got an example?
Something like speedy, strong, stupendous.
Did you just come up with that on the spot? And why include speedy?
Speed on my feet? Duh. Fast runners are always popular.
That's the logic of an elementary school kid. Plus, to be honest, I can't imagine you running fast to save your life, Nanchan.
Yeah, I won't lie, it's pretty accurate.
So a no on that slogan for you. What would Kiryu-san's slogan be?
Strong, somber.
Again, what was going through your mind for the last part?
What do you mean by sentimental?
He must mean that Kiryu-san's old school, like what kids these days call a throwback?
Oh, yeah, that's totally what I meant.
I get the
Totally
feeling that
not
at
that.
this point, even you don't know what you're talking about.
By the way, that slogan, you know, the word order actually changed.
Yeah, The
over
Witness
time.
is not an accessible puzzle game for a lot of reasons. There's a lot of completely inaccessible puzzles in that game that make no concession to
Then they
be
started to care
accessible.
more about the tasty part of their reputation.
Oh wow, I had no idea.
Yep, now that's what I call sentimental.
Aww.
Look at all my friendship bonds going up.
Here's the food.
All over the shop. Yes, the number of different ways that the Witness finds to be inaccessible to various disabled people for completely unrelated reasons is honestly impressive. It is impressive at a point.
Hey, you ever walk into a bookstore and suddenly need to use the jar?
Not the word I'd use, but I think so.
They've got a few theories on that. Some think you get the urge to go because seeing all those books makes you nervous. Another theory says you start to worry because there might not be enough restrooms. Nobody really knows for sure, though. Funny enough.
You know, whenever I go, first thing I do is seek out the can for peace of mind. I usually end up flipping through magazines, so the lots of books things are non-issue.
Sounds like you've got things covered.
Maybe Namba-kun's the key to finally solving the mystery.
Key? Well, when you put it that way, I start getting kind of nervous.
Some key.
Guess we'll never know.
Okay, give me everything you have here. Good thing I have 85 million yen.
Looks good.
Man, I just...
Sorry, Incompetent Hero says, Sion-Hee's hair is essentially the pencil crayons I never wanted to use as a kid because the metallic was too cool for me to want to run out of. Instilling that pack rat mentality early. That is such a specific description, but I entirely know what you mean. That is a great description.
Can't resist the combo of rice, yakiniku.
I get you. It's a match made in heaven.
That does sound good. But have you ever tried bibimbap? Now that is...
Yeah, this section where I go to every restaurant and hear them talk about food makes me real hungry. I've never tried bibimbap, but it looks real good in that picture.
Yeah, that does sound tempting.
Serve me some of that up.
Sachan, ordering 2 main dishes?
What? No, I just meant either one is good.
Then what do you think about eating rice with bibimbap as a side dish?
Bibimbap. Bibimbap is such a fun name for a meal.
With rice? The amount of carbs alone would make that immoral.
Okay, and 1 order of rice and bibimbap for Sachan.
Hey, no,
I had a cinnamon roll before, a cinnamon bun before recording, before doing this stream today, and I have another one downstairs in the cupboard I could go eat after this. Incompetent Hero, I agree with you so much. I would really like it in this game if I could just set it so if I'm in the middle of a conversation, random battles can't hurt me until the conversation finishes. The conversation has a set length, so it's not like I can avoid random battles forever, but I don't want a random battle to interrupt the thing I was trying to do. Oh, I don't remember if I've already had all of the booze in this place. Have I had all of the booze here? No, I don't have the combos done yet, which means I didn't order everything here yet. Stop making my soul raise. It's the one stat I don't need to go up.
Tell ya, plenty of bars out there make great curry, but the stuff they make here's all time.
Yeah, it's got that deep curry flavor. You can tell it's been made with love.
Speaking of, one of my customers was telling me most golf clubs make a pretty good curry.
You know, I've heard that too. Curry is usually on the menu at most of them, and they differ depending on the area, so it's fun to compare.
Why do they even serve curry, though? Is it because everyone likes it?
I'm sure that's part of it, but the main reason seems to be that you can dish out curry fast and easy and avoid any long wait times.
I see. That makes sense.
You know, if the curry hits different at each club, then it's probably the same for all the bars. I say we make the rounds and crown ourselves a king.
Hang on. Do you have any idea how many bars there are around here?
Hey, Kiryu, we're in the midst of doing Namba's suggestion. We are going to every bar and every restaurant and trying everything, including all of their curries.
Certainly food.
Oh, I could really go for a good Indian takeaway right now. Now that I'm like thinking of foods I could put in my face. Just like a good, not particularly spicy, but a good like flavorful, like creamy curry.
Let's dig in.
Just give me like 3 different varieties of naan bread, and I know naan is the word for bread. I know I'm terrible, but give me like get me like a garlic naan, a keema naan, a peshwari naan, and then just like a huge container of just not even like any of like the meat or anything, just the sauce from a good curry, from an Indian, and just absolutely stuff myself to bursting with bread with various flavors and things stuffed in and like fillings stuffed into it. used as a flavor vessel for just slurping up a good curry. Like, that's what I could go
With
for.
chilled tomatoes, simple and delicious.
Right? And if you think these are good, I know where we can get some even better ones.
Oh? Where's that?
Why, that'd be none other than my very own garden.
Oh, right. You said Adachi-san was teaching you how to garden. So you grow tomatoes?
I always get Peshwari naan and keema naan confused in my head. I can never remember which is which, and I always have to Google the two of them. One of them is like stuffed with a sort of like coconut filling, and the other is a sort of meat filling. It's basically like kebab meat naan, kebab meat stuffed naan, or like coconut stuffed naan, and then garlic naan is just like you garlic butter up your naan.
Yeah, homegrown's always the best, isn't it? You should have seen my war with the crows.
A war with crows? Don't tell me you solved it with your fists.
Come on, what do you take me for? I hung up CDs and stuff. The movement and the flashing freaks the little bastards out.
Does that
Hey
sort of thing
Echo, how
really
you doing?
Actually, not at all. At least not for me. In fact, it seemed to encourage him.
Jeez. So what'd you do about it?
I tried a bunch of things. But what really sent them packing was wrenching the curtains open and glaring at him.
Was Namba being a scarecrow?
Stared at the birds?
Yeah. Just opened the curtains and stared. In stone cold silence.
Ooh, how'd your pub quiz go?
Ooh, how creepy. I'd stop coming around too if I were a crow.
Hey, you gotta do what you
Last place for the third time running? Hell yeah. Proud of you.
Well,
Namba.
myself battling crows in my own garden, I know who to call.
Right on.
Incompetent Hero, you're just gonna make me want to have naan bread more now. 'Cause now I'm gonna see Namba's name and think of naan bread every time. Like, look, I know it's like super fucking basic, like bottom of the barrel basic, but a good tikka masala sauce, just like a not too spicy, good flavorful tomato, like creamy tomatoey base, like curry sauce, and just various kinds of naan bread. Just give me like different flavors and fillings of good dipping bread. Oh. Echo says, at least this time we didn't break the record for worst score ever, which you managed to the last 2 times. Echo, you gotta bring me along to your pub quiz sometime. I am a fountain of completely useless but great for pub quiz trivia up in Minoggin. I'll come be your hustle. You make sure that everyone at the pub quiz knows you always come in last, and you're like, oh, maybe we put money on it today. You know, who's willing to take a bet? You know, whether I'll come last today or not, and then you bring me in. I'll help you hustle them. Cool. We've got to find the rest of these restaurants quick. We've done all the ones on the bottom side of town. How are we doing on leveling up those bucket list bonds? We're like halfway through the tech and the body levels we need. And I think level 9 on everything gets us where we need to be. So let's start from this side and work our way over. I love a good pub quiz. It's the only place where many years of like reading like just reading trivia books that like were in no way actually going to be useful in my life. It's the one time they come in helpful. Oh no, we've done this restaurant because we got all the combos. Incompetent Hero says, I moved away from the best Indian food in the city. I'm now on the polar opposite side and it hurts. I can't bus for 2.5 hours one way just for good Indian food. I mean, I beg to differ. I was going to say, I don't know your situation. I'd be tempted to do that. There used to be a really good Indian place that would deliver to me that isn't around anymore, and it's a real shame because they made it really easy to just get a big container. Like, I just want breads and a big container of sauce, and like my new place can't just get a big container of sauce. I've got to get something in there. And I'm like, I don't want the bits in there. I just want the good sauce for me to put my bread on. Run. All the combat. We need more meal content. I know I did a couple of restaurants around here. I don't know if I maxed this one out already. I did. Okay. That's fine. I appreciate the combo system existing. It at least means that I can rule out the restaurants I've already been to and like maxed out the stats on. Do they have check marks on the main map like the older games? They do, but they don't have like a you ate everything at this restaurant checkpoint. But at least I can go to the restaurant and go, do I have the combos? Because if I have the combos, that means I ate everything there. If I don't have the combos, it means it's still worth me doing the meal section. Come on. Ah, Kiryu! Go up the damn stairs, Kiryu! Oh, this is the poker location that I never go to. But it has... Yeah, more food and drink for us to sprint through now. Come on, don't be the blue stat. Give me... Yeah, the yellow stat. Cool. One of the two stats we needed.
Certainly food.
Certainly food, Sionhee. Oh, there wasn't even a conversation. There was no sit-down conversation for ordering everything at the poker place. We've only got a small handful. I think it's literally just this one restaurant left, and then we're gonna have to go to the other town and eat everything in all the restaurants in the next town over. We are running out of things to eat to raise Kiryu's stats.
Oh, I hear that place has good soft serve.
Says they use almond jelly. That does sound good.
Soft serve. I have to admit, that brings up bitter memories.
But ice cream's supposed to be sweet.
No.
Back at my old job, the boss once sent me out for soft serve. Wanted to get back quick to impress him, so I ran. Then I stumbled, and it dropped.
Oh, no.
No way. I didn't have that kind of time. Plus, I'd only spilt the ice cream.
No.
So I grabbed it. Of course, I didn't see how much dirt and crap got mixed in it.
Oh, you served your boss dirty ice cream. Lovely. Okay, cool. We got to eat more food at more restaurants. I know that was you wanted to emotionally bond with me, Namba, but I need to eat more. What genre of food do we have this time? One of everything, my good sir.
Let's dig in.
Incompetent Hero says, I've only played Yakuza 0 through 2, so this may appear later, but nothing has sold me more on VR than the non-VR Yakuza Kiwami 2, as you can walk the entire game in first person, and I love looking at the tiny posters and images around town. You can do it in this one, you can look in first person. Incompetent Hero says, I want a VR game with meticulously designed storefronts and stuff. Yeah, you can do this one in first person as well. I don't do it because first person makes me motion sick, but you can play this whole game
So this
in
is the
first
kind of
person.
flavor profile they got going. Not bad at all.
Sure enough, as a chef, you're always sizing up the competition, huh?
It's not like I need to, but any place that can deliver a unique flavor combo is bound to catch my interest. You can call it studious diligence on my part.
Good to know what the competition's cooking up.
Admirable mindset to have, though. I assume you could probably learn a lot more at some high-end place.
Not too sure about that. People tend to make true discoveries.
Oh, you'll learn so much more about, like, interesting cooking choices at, like, a real run-down grotty place.
A while ago, I discovered that Kasuga's cooking is pretty
Like, if
unique in and
you
of
want to learn how to, like, do creative stuff with food, find a restaurant that can't really afford to have good ingredients and go, oh, you made this taste real good. What the fuck, like, kitchen hack did you find for this?
Kasuga's?
One day, he blurted out that he'd serve me a manly meal and said about making meat and potato stew. That's when he plopped in some cough drops.
Ugh, cough drops? You gotta be kidding me.
That's right. I thought he had to be messing with me, but he'd actually added the perfect hint of
The kitchen hack is usually
It was
MSG.
delicious. I was
Tasty,
happy.
tasty MSG.
Apparently, it was a secret technique that he learned from this lady who ran a cigarette shop back when he was a kid.
Wow, so that unique flair must be Kamurocho style? It's true that
I'm not
there's a
surprised
wealth
that the
of
woman
knowledge
running
out
the
there beyond
cigarette
high
shop needed
society.
to add some
Still,
weird
I'm
flavors
surprised that you took the
to
risk
her
to eat a
food.
meal at Kasuga.
She's probably
It's just
burnt out some
hard to
taste buds
imagine.
and's like, I need something to be able to
Nothing out
taste
of the
this.
ordinary. How about next time you take the plunge too?
Cass says the
Leave
secret
that
of my
for a
beef stew is
mystery
balsamic
ingredient
vinegar, so I
dinner
get the
party
cough
at
drops.
Kasuga?
I'm gonna have to take a rain check.
Oh,
I
MSG
still
is just
value
like
my
the...
life.
It's just the cheat code to turn up flavors. You just want to turn the flavor dial up. MSG, it's your friend. Okay, so we're gonna have to go to the next town over just to find more places to eat food. How close are we getting? Hopefully we don't accidentally advance the plot when I do this. Okay, the yellow meter's getting pretty close now. Okay, we're just heading to Kamurocho. We're not doing the plot. Come on, game. We're not progressing the plot. And some lychee vinegar at the H Mart near us. It's amazing the flavor it imparts on different stuff. Huh. Yeah, Incompetent Hero says, there's a funny correlation between stomach problems and coal mining, as many miners would eat exclusively spicy or otherwise strong foods, as the coal dust essentially killed off taste. Yeah, there's a lot of jobs in which you're sort of incentivized to eat kind of weirdly. Oh, we got more side quests and shit opening up over here. Okay. We gotta eat at all the restaurants, but we've also gotta side quest it up. We got this. Have some memories down at Strange Alley. Artisanth, have a good night. It's just one hit KO this lot now. Strong. What's the flashback we need to have here? Is it up these stairs? Kiryu, what do you need to reminisce about here? What memory are you having? Sky Finance. Mysterious moneylender who lends people money with no interest, no collateral, and no limit. Oh, it's Akiyama. That's the guy we met a minute ago. Yeah.
This brings back memories.
Hooray, we're having a nice memory about him now that we've seen him. Okay. Oh, I'm trying to work out how to neatly visit all the restaurants without missing any restaurants, but also navigating the fact that I'm going to bump into side quests along the way. Yes, the very first game starts when you have to deliver money there. Yeah, this is literally where the series starts, is there.
Follow my lead. Doing better than I thought.
All these fights are just gonna melt when we get to them. Okay, what's this side quest? Oh, I know what this is.
I can't breathe.
Hey, what's the matter? Are you alright?
I'm having a fit. I can't breathe.
Got it. Just hold on. Don't move.
No. Stop. Don't call an ambulance. I can't afford it.
This isn't the time for that. You could die.
Even if I survived it, I'd just be assumed dead if those thieving debt collectors come after
It's a
me.
rough place in life to be, buddy.
Damn it. Then what should I do? If he's refusing an ambulance, how can I help him? Should I look for a hospital nearby? But what are the chances of finding a hospital in the heart of Kamurocho? Wait a minute. Aren't we right near?
This game has no politics. Never a politics. Oh, we're right near Kiryu's friend, the doctor who will help people under the table for no money because he's a good guy. I know the doctor who he'll step in and help homeless people with no money because that's the right thing to do.
Sakamoto doesn't refuse anyone in need.
Yeah.
I respect the man. Good to know he's
He'll never turn away a patient in need. He's a good guy.
All right, I'm gonna get you to a doctor.
Yeah, this is a different hospital. It's yet another hospital from the series. Fuck it. I'm gonna try and do the restaurants at the same time as doing the side quests and not lose track of which I have and haven't done. So wish me luck. Oh, but this is gonna mean we're gonna have... Okay, we didn't have a conversation. I was like, probably a bad time to have a like little conversation about food when we should be like going to the doctor who can help that guy. Hey, London Cheesehead.
Doc, sorry to barge in. It's an emergency.
This is not the doc.
Where's Dr. Emoto?
I'm Dr. Emoto, but if you're looking for my father, he's out currently. I'm sure he'll be back soon.
Then you must be.
But didn't you just say there's an emergency? Oh, let's not waste time chatting. What's the situation? Can patient move on his own?
A homeless man collapsed. He's having some sort of attack. He's on the street right now and won't take an ambulance.
Understood. This kind of thing is fairly typical. My apologies, but I'll need your help carrying him in.
I'm glad that his kid is carrying on the tradition of, hey, don't worry about it, we've got to help people.
Yes, he's fine. He's actually one of my father's patients. This tends to happen from time to time, though this time around, it was your intervention that ended up saving him.
That's a relief. So how is the old doctor these days?
Well, the years have taken their toll. A fact that's more noticeable lately. Were you a patient of my father's?
No, not exactly.
Huh? What's going on here? He injured?
Here he
He
is.
collapsed after having another attack. Seems he ran out of the meds you prescribed. That gentleman over there made me aware of the situation. So we were
Yet
able
another
to-
person who's probably going to realize Kiryu is Kiryu.
Thank you. And I'm sure he'd like to personally extend his thanks when he comes to.
No, there's no need for that. I've got to head out soon.
Earlier, it sounded as though you knew my father personally.
No, I'm not
A
Kiryu.
few things here and there.
Did you hear good things or bad things?
All good.
Well, I suppose I should thank my lucky stars.
So, you run this clinic with your daughter now?
Hell no. This is my clinic. She's just a busybody who barges in whenever she feels like it. Taking after me was 100% her idea.
True, I was never asked, but someone has to keep this place running. No matter what my dad says. I've told him he can retire anytime, but he absolutely refuses to settle down.
You look familiar.
What's wrong?
Kiryu, you're doing so badly at keeping your not being dead a secret.
For a second, I mistook you for someone I knew way back when. Come to think of it, I heard he died a few years ago.
You look just like my old friend Kiryu.
You don't say.
That voice. You even sound just like him.
Oh, what a coinkydink.
But I guess that's downright impossible. To think, I almost accused a friend of faking his own death all those years ago.
Oh, good thing he's really dead.
Yeah. Unfortunately, you've got the wrong guy. I'm just passing through.
Right.
But I
Today's
did haunt
Wednesday, isn't
Kamurocho
it?
often in the past.
Okay,
I've
yeah.
heard a lot about you. In a town that only cares about money and women, there's a doctor who'll help anybody in need. A man of great character.
Well, that's pretty exaggerated. But it's nice to know that I'm a trusted physician.
What's with this heavy atmosphere? You two can just tell me if I'm in the way.
Oh, that's not it.
I'm going on break. You guys take your time.
It must be reassuring to know you have a reliable successor. She grew up following in your footsteps. One look at her, and you can tell how strong-willed she is.
Isn't that the truth? Once my daughter makes up her mind, it's her way or the highway. Huh. But that's the right attitude to have when running a clinic like this. And patients seem to prefer being treated by her, rather than an old grouch like me. These days, all anyone ever seems to ask me is when I'm gonna retire.
That's a shame.
Damn straight. It only gets me even more fired up. At this rate, I'll be a doctor until my dying day. Those ungrateful patients can't get rid of me yet.
It was good to see you, Dakamoto.
As someone who treats the injured and infirm, I can't exactly ask you to come again soon. But I'm here for you. Even if you're guarding secrets, you can trust me. Doctor-patient confidentiality, you know.
Thanks. I might just take you up on that offer. Times have changed, and even the Tojo clan is long gone. But some things never change. Looks like I'm still no match for you, Dakamoto.
We're so close to finishing all of the reminiscings now. This dungeon sub-boss says, this doctor would absolutely prescribe hormones on request. He's cool like that. Oh, 1000%. He is super uninterested in, like, what he's supposed to be doing, and much more interested in, hey, are you a patient? You're in need, and, like, the right thing to do is to offer you care? Yeah, fuck it. I'll make sure you get care. Like, this would be a doctor who would follow the, like, affirmative care model. Like, he would follow your lead on the medical care you need.
Real neat.
Thanks for buying.
Certainly food.
Okay, I'm kind of glad that some of these restaurants don't have dialogues attached to them, because it's going to make it a little quicker for us to finish eating every single meal in the game, one after another, just so that Kiryu can grow emotionally enough to see his daughter and grandson again.
Let's dig
He
in.
needs to build out his emotion stats to be, like, have the fortitude to see them. And the only way he knows to build those emotions up is eat every meal that's ever existed in Japan.
Thanks for buying.
Kiryu's emotions do come from his stomach. It's one of the few ways he can still trust, you know, let himself feel things without, like, worrying he's gonna cause problems. Okay, so let's continue up this way, I guess. We'll run this way, and that'll take us to another narrative point. Oh, I know what narrative we're gonna run to. A narrative that, like, landed a lot better for me, because... So, hey, remember when we streamed, Like a Dragon Gaiden, the man who erased his name, right? And you all encouraged me to actually play the slot car racing that I'd never really gotten into in any of the Yakuzas before, and I got really fucking into it, and, like, little mini car racing became my life for a minute. Yeah, I went back and did some of the the slot car racing minigames in some of the other Yakuzas as a result of that. And now the plot line we're about to do, it got me better because I actually gave a shit about the slot car racing. Smile Burger, feed me one of all the burger. Come on, raise the red or yellow stat? Red stat, cool, perfect.
Hey, how old is too old to be ordering a Lucky Meal?
No old is too old.
It's a combo made for kids. Usually comes with a hamburger, dessert, and a toy. And during special promotions, they'll run
Let
out.
Namba have a Happy Meal.
So it's basically a kid's meal then.
What brought this up? Attempting to relive your childhood all
Let Namba have a Happy Meal.
Not exactly. But the toy they're giving out is based on a manga I read ages ago, so guess I was feeling nostalgic.
Hey, I don't see any age limits posted. If you want one, why not go for it? There's already a sign up.
Some days you just need a Happy Meal, right?
What?
Okay, look. You know, McDonald's is trash and supporting, financially supporting Israel, and, like, I'm not suggesting that, like, McDonald's is a corporation that right now, like, ethically the right thing to do is to, you know, spend money with them. But, that said, not a promotion that's happening in the country I'm in. I believe it's a Japan exclusive promotion. I did see that Japanese Happy Meals recently had, I believe it was a Hello Kitty Yu-Gi-Oh crossover. Hello Kitty characters dressed up like classic Yu-Gi-Oh cards as little stuffed toys in Happy Meals. And there was a part of my brain that fucking alarm bells lit up at that. That sure was a combination of things that would make me be that would be the thing that would set off the number in me going like, can I get a Happy Meal?
Stuck wondering if it's weird for a grown-ass man to order a kid's meal? Don't feel bad, Nan-chan. I accept you.
Yeah, Zhao.
Just because I want a kid's meal doesn't mean you have to treat me like a kid.
If this is something you really want, go ahead. Just be aware of who these lucky meals are meant for. If ordering one for yourself meant taking it away from a child, I couldn't imagine living with the shame.
I'm aware of that.
Hey, it looks like they're down to the last one. It's now or never.
Let Namba have his Happy Meal.
Ooh, and there's a family at the register right now. What's it gonna be? You gonna make it happen? And...
Yes, I'm aware that McDonald's is currently doing the WcDonald's thing that, like, and I get the Inuyasha stuff with that. But I do see that, and all I see is WC, which is water closet, which is toilet. And that's not appealing.
Talk about having your cake and eating it.
Let Namba have his Happy Meal. Oh, Dante Sapien, that's not one McDonald's in Melbourne. That is just the name of the place. It's not just that one of them has changed their sign to Macca's. They just call it Macca's there. I was last in Melbourne for Melbourne Games Week, for part of the Melbourne Games Fest. I'm going to say like 8 years ago, and every McDonald's had Macca's written on the signage. It's Macca's and Hungry Jack's. Burger King is Hungry Jack's, and that's a whole thing. And McDonald's is Macca's. It's not McDonald's, it's Macca's. And that just is what the brand is.
Food.
Okay, let's... Oh yeah, no. Everyone I saw in Melbourne was a Macca's. I didn't know if it was like any more broadly true across Australia or if it was Melbourne specific, but...
Let's go! Yeah, I'll race you to the Pocket Circuit Stadium.
Oh, Pocket Circuit! Everyone loves Pocket Circuit, racing those little cars.
Really? Pocket Circuit Stadium. Kamurocho actually has one again.
I basically lived out of a Hungry Jack's the week, maybe week and a half that I was in Melbourne for Melbourne Games Week. I got flown... I've told this story before. I got flown out to Melbourne by, like, the government of the state of Victoria, like Victoria State, like local government flew me out. Like, it's the only time in my life I've flown first class because a government was flying me, and they put me up in like a 5-star hotel. It was way too fucking fancy for me. But there was a Macca's, there was a Hungry Jack's like 30 seconds walk from this 5-star hotel, and every evening it was just load up on Hungry Jack's, take it through the very fancy hotel lobby, and be in my, like, this hotel was so fancy you could be lying in the bathtub and looking out the huge, it was like a one-way mirror, so like people couldn't see in, but you could be in the bath looking out like a wall-sized window over like the sparkling nighttime lights of Melbourne from in your bathtub. It was, oh.
Circuit. Those little radio-controlled race cars.
That Hungry Jack's kept me alive that week. It was an
an
incredible hotel, but I couldn't fucking afford anything in that hotel. I was afraid to fucking touch anything in that hotel. But being like 40 seconds away from like Australian Burger King, I was like, oh, thank God. It was all Coca-Cola slushies. It was all like Fanta and Coke slushes. And like, just give me a bunch of like, give me a plain chicken burger and chips and like a big fucking like fizzy slushy, and I lived like that for a week.
There was a time I was the fastest pocket circuit racer in Kamurocho, taking on all comers. I got to know the kids who frequented the place through racing and modding our cars together. And I even formed a lasting friendship with a pocket circuit fighter that managed our location. Last time I saw him was back in Onomichi. Hope he's doing all right.
Stop being so annoying. Let me play how I want, fighter.
But that customization you put together won't work, Kojiro-kun. Try these tires instead. They'll give you more friction on turns. Come on, use them just once, buddy. For me?
Knock it off. The tires I have are the best. They're purple.
Purple's cool, but the color doesn't make it race better. Don't you want to stay on the track?
No, shut up already. Fighter, you suck.
Let's go find something to do at the park.
This man is absolutely destroying the thing he claims to love by trying to force these kids to, like, you're playing suboptimally with your little race cars. Stop having fun. Don't pick the one that's the color you like. You've got to race optimally, kids.
Oh well, better clean up. Whoa! Ooh, sorry about that.
Huh. A golem tiger.
Oh? You recognize it?
I used to race here, actually. Back with the first pocket circuit fighter.
Whoa. So, my name's Muranaka. I'm a new fighter, employed by the Pocket Circuit Company themselves.
I'm... well, as far as pocket circuit goes, I'm Kazuma.
Kazuma-kun, huh? Pleasure to meet you. So if you knew this branch's first fighter, you must go back a while.
I started in the bubble era. Must have been 30 years ago now.
Whoa, that would have been the first boom period. Amazing. I'd have loved to have been there to see it. Is it true? How popular it was back then?
I'd say so. From what I recall, it really swept the country for a time. Then one day, the Kamurocho Stadium was gone. I'm surprised to see it come back now.
Ah, yeah, it did die down for a while, but recently there's been a surge of interest. The market's swelling again. On top of that, we have a new company president. He's a pocket circuit fanatic, apparently. I'm super into it. He came up with a
I
bunch
think
of
I found the
innovative
hotel
new
I
mixed
stayed in
media
Melbourne.
strategies to
Sorry.
get younger school
I-
kids back into RC racing.
I got real ADHD'd for a minute. I'm trying to find the fancy ass hotel I stayed in Melbourne because I've never before or since stayed in as fancy a hotel, and I want to find the fucking fancy ass room. Melbourne government put me up in a fancy room once, and I'm having my moment of, let's relive a hotel room I will never see again.
That sounds effective.
No, I think it was the QT. It was one of the really fucking fancy rooms,
So,
but in
what
the
made you wanna be
QT.
a pocket circuit fighter?
Everything else aside, the cars. Pocket circuit cars fascinate me. Pocket circuits.
I am correct. The QT is a 5-star hotel.
I didn't care. I'd spend every afternoon customizing my rig. All of my meager allowance went toward building the best machine I could. I didn't have friends at school, but eventually, I met people through Pocket Circuit. It was like finding my place in the world. It was so much fun in those days.
I get it. That made you want to become a fighter.
Yup. It was the fighter at my local branch who approached me when he saw that I would race alone. He helped bring me together with the other kids. I finally made friends. All thanks to him. That's the person I want to be. Someone who can help cheer kids up when they're going through hard times. That's a true Pocket Circuit fighter.
I think that's the right idea.
It's
You're
the
a
right.
good fit.
It's the right idea, guy. But you do have to stop scaring the kids away by like telling them off for making a cool looking car. I mean, it's suboptimal. Echo says Pocket Circuit equals queer allegory confirmed. I mean, you're not wrong.
Job's a lot harder than I thought it'd be. When it comes to Pocket Circuit tech, nobody knows more than me. I just want to pass on that knowledge. Teach kids the best customizations. Support their curiosity. But when I try, I can't get through to them. The kids all seem to hate me. Maybe I'm just not cut out to be a fighter. Now that I'm 30, it might be time to move back home. Are you laughing at me?
No. It's just that back in my day, the fighter here was in a very similar position. He and I raced together a lot. I have nothing but good memories of him. It's been a long time, but I still consider him a close friend.
You really have that kind of bond?
He was a great spokesperson for the hobby, and good with kids. Still, he had his share of troubles. The company never saw him as more than a disposable part-timer. When he had 30, he had a hard time staying with it.
Wow. What did he do?
He decided to remain a fighter. He loved Pocket Circuit. The kids loved him.
Dante Sapien? Yeah, the QT on Russell Street in Chinatown. I have double-checked, because that's the one where there is like a 30-second walk to the Hungry Jacks. I spent like 10 days in the fancy loft room at the QT, living off of the Hungry Jacks on that corner. Also, yeah, sorry, the ADHD, I'll rein it in. We're talking about Pocket Circuit as a queer allegory.
Makes me jealous. If I only had a better relationship with them, I wouldn't be so conflicted.
Let me ask, what do you imagine the kids there want from you?
Me? Well, I'm the Pocket Circuit fighter. They want me to teach them the best way to race, don't they?
That's an important part of it. The fighter should be someone you can consult on builds. However, do you really think that's what children are looking for?
They want someone who's like, hey, if the kid wants to learn how to make a better Pocket Circuit fighter, you've got to be able to like be that for them. But you've also got to be there to just hype them up when they're like, I made one and it's covered in sparkles, and you go, heck yeah, kid, those sparkles, they're gonna make it go as fast as a star. That's very fast. Like you gotta adjust your model to what the kids are enjoying.
Huh?
You told me about the fighter who helped you as a kid, but you didn't mention his technical expertise. Did you decide to become a fighter because he made you a faster car? Did you idolize him because he taught you which tire set takes sharp turns better?
Of course not. He meant the world to me because when I had nobody, You rescued me from my loneliness.
Now you're getting it,
I think you
Pocket
understand now.
Fighter Man.
What is it the children want from their fighter? You know the answer, don't you?
Kazuma-kun. You're right. This whole time, I've been mistaken. Pocket Circuit might be a technical hobby, but that's not its heart. It can't be only about winning and losing. First and foremost, it's about having fun with your fellow racers. I can't believe I looked past something so obvious. No
So,
wonder the
I'm
kids
aware
think
there was a bunch of really cool food options around that area, because, yeah, being in Chinatown, great food options. I'll be honest, I was relying on Hungry Jack's because it's, like, I'm autistic and I'm funny about food, like, new foods at the best of times, and if you can give me, like, a thing I know from home, in a place that is open 24/7, that is a very limited walk, so that when, like, it's like very early in the morning or very late in the evening when I finished my work and I go back to the hotel, and I can just I don't have to go far from my hotel in a strange city I don't know late at night, get food I recognize, and just stumble back into my fancy room. That's how I lived that week.
I'll talk about feels. Pocket Circuit runs on love.
Good. I'm sure they'll take
Yeah,
that
I didn't
lesson.
really have anyone local to take me to places. That week I was just sort of going wherever I was pointed by the government. The government wanted to show me video games. I sure saw some video games. Okay, let's head... Where are we heading to? Gonna head down to the park down here to... We gotta go protect the Pocket Circuit kids. Whatever. Oh no, it's bullies.
Yo, sick cart, short stuff. Is this limited edition? Yeah, I want one too.
Hey, give it back, please.
Huh? Don't be such a greedy brat. Well, you want to get hit?
A premium model's wasted on some dumbass kids. I'll make this thing fly.
But I spent my whole allowance
Oh
on it.
god, yeah, it's the thing for me about traveling. If I'm in a place where I don't have my routine, I'm not in a place I know, I don't have a routine that's usual, I'm very away from my stuff. Oh, it's the Pocket Fighter, he's gonna save the kids. Yeah, I need stuff that, I can reliably know. I know what it is. I need my little predictability when I travel.
Pocket jerk-off fighters actually lecturing me. Why don't you crawl back into whatever boomer-ass manga they cribbed your outfit from?
You know, we'd put a car like that to better use than some moron toddlers. Don't you want faster races at your rinky-dink
Come on,
stadium?
Pocket Fighter, beat these lads up. Get their car back for them.
Pocket Circuit may be competitive, but it's not the fastest who wins the day. It's whoever has the most fun.
It is the fastest that wins, though, but
You two blockheads don't deserve Pocket Circuit.
Fighter.
It's not safe here. Move along, please.
But Fighter.
yeah, I agree, Echo. Love trying new foods when I know I have a safe backup I can stumble to.
Okay.
Now, just you?
I'll try something new, only if I know that I have the option to bail on it completely and go get 20 nuggets. Okay, Pocket Fighter, I'm glad you sent the kids away to not watch you get your ass beat.
This nerd's literally as weak as he looks.
Look at you in that
Yeah, I do enjoy differences in menu items across regions.
What kind of virgin devotes his whole life to
Again, talking about McDonald's because it's one I have a quick reference point for. Nowhere in the world McDonald's in a lot of Europe has curry sauce, but it's not the UK curry sauce. The UK curry sauce is fucking perfect. The European curry sauce is considerably on the spicier end. It's waterier. It's less thick. It's spicier. It's a very different sauce. It's much more actual curry.
He's actually out cold. Let's tease
But in comparison, in Europe you can get a 20 box of nuggets, but you can get a 20 box of vegan nuggets instead, which is great.
Nobody besides a Pocket Circuit fan. You've both made a big mistake just now. Now be quiet and give me the card.
What's up with him? You got some death wish, old man?
No, I just care a lot about Pocket Circuit.
Hell yeah, we should.
I'm just a guy who was once the Pocket Circuit champion here locally and who cares a lot about the integrity of the sport and wants those kids to, you know, see the Pocket Champ guy as their hero. So we're going to beat these guys up and get their carts back.
I won't hold that.
Kicked their asses.
That should do it.
Fighter, please say something.
That you, Kojiro-kun?
Yes, it's me. Are you okay? Fighter.
Yeah, I'll be all right. Are any of you hurt?
All 'cause you protected us. Thanks so much.
Fighter, you're so strong. We never knew.
Huh? What? Me?
Well, look, those bullies are all knocked out.
Oh, was that me?
There's nobody else around. You're the coolest fighter.
I'm really happy you got my car back.
Don't worry about it. It's a fighter's job to keep the racers safe.
Fighter, you did all of this for us. After I said such mean stuff to you. I swear, I'm so sorry.
It's okay. I promise, Kojiro-kun. I'm the one who's sorry. You only wanted to have fun customizing your kit. I tried to force my way of doing things onto you, but you never asked me to. I assumed you'd be happier if you won more often, but you were smart enough to know what matters to you. I was a crummy fighter. I forgot the most important thing about Pocket Circuit. Please, forgive me.
Fighter!
Hey, I know how to make it all okay. Let's race together.
Yeah, let's go. Take us back to the stadium, Fighter.
Yeah, of course. I might need to buy a couple bandages first. Can you two go on ahead?
Sure. We'll wait for
Echo
you
says,
there.
imagine being a kid playing race cars at your local game store and you find out the old guy who hangs out and
Well
cheers
done,
everyone on used to be the local crime
You've really
lord.
earned that time.
I suspect it's more likely than you think. I imagine something like Pocket Circuit's a great fucking, like, money laundering front business.
Muranaka-kun.
I still want some excitement in my retirement. Let me cheer on kids with their little race cars. Ah, shit. It's Kiryu's old Pocket Circuit master.
Fighter said the new president was a fanatic.
I got a call on my pocket phone that a fighter was in a scuffle and rushed over. Are you all right?
Oh, it's the guy that made Kiryu love Pocket Fighter.
And no harm came to the children.
I see. Thank goodness. You did the right thing protecting them, Muranaka-kun.
Any fighter worth their stripes would do the same.
Muranaka-kun, something's different about you. Have you found some new motivation?
Do you think so? Kazuma-kun's to thank then, probably.
Kazuma-kun?
Yes, sir. He's a truly noble man, and a racer since the bubble era. I was beginning to doubt my value as a fighter. To be honest, Kazuma-kun heard me out and gave me advice fit for a sage. He opened my eyes, sir.
How about that? Kazuma-kun. You say he helped you through a personal crisis?
Yes, absolutely. May I ask, it sounds like you might know him, sir?
He happens to be an important old friend.
Oh.
Oh, I should have realized. Kazuma-kun mentioned knowing the first fighter. He called you a friend too.
He did he?
If it's all right, sir, I should get back to the stadium. The kids are waiting for me.
Take care of yourself. Oh, Muranaka-kun, if you happen to see Kazuma-kun again, give him a message. I would love another race someday, friend.
You got it, sir.
Kiryu is so convinced that he's ruined the lives of everyone he's ever known, and this whole, like, the whole second half of this game is...
Pocket Circuit sure is special, Kazuma.
It's just Kiryu getting to overhear that there are people who genuinely love him.
Let's cry, let's shout.
He's so bad at playing
Just
dead,
like the
though, you're
kids do.
right.
Like we used to back then. Let's race, Kazuma-kun.
He's made so many friends. Kiryu, stop assuming you'd be better off dead. Because, like, this is the whole, I think, the whole core of this game is Kiryu, or at least of the Kiryu, like, latter half plot. Kiryu is convinced that he should just keep pretending to be dead because no one has ever benefited from, like, him being in their lives. And it's just, hey, you're completely wrong. This world is full of people who just absolutely fucking love you and think that you had an incredibly positive impact on their lives. And it's worth fighting the cancer for as long as you possibly can. And, like, you know, maybe easing up on pretending to be dead if you can, because there's people who you've made their lives better, and if nothing else, you deserve closure with those people, and or you know, deserve to make new connections, because you are not just a burden on the people you meet. You are a genuinely positive addition in their lives, and
Let's dig in.
Kiryu suffers from imposter syndrome, the game. Yeah, 1000%.
Looks
Real
good.
nail.
I think we've got a... I think they're going to have a chat in this restaurant. This is not one with a conversation. We're so close to hitting level 9 on all those stats. Like, I really should probably call it for the night, but I don't want to lose track of where I'm at in all these restaurants, and as such, I'm kind of just tempted to continue knocking just a couple more restaurants off the list before I forget. Let's go. Let's just buy everything in a couple more restaurants. Get those Kiryu stat points up. Oh no, I've already ordered here. Have I already ordered everything? I think I might have already ordered everything next door here as well. Oh, to be clear, Incompetent Hero, I don't think Kiryu's line of thinking is wrong. I agree with you to a degree. Kiryu's line of thinking shows he legitimately cares about the impact he has on others. I don't disagree, and I think that like, if it was purely, I don't want to risk the Daidoji coming after the orphans, therefore I will stay dead, if that was all there was to it, I would agree with you. But I think that, A, Kiryu has a genuinely distorted view of the impact he has had on the lives of people around him. He is genuinely incorrect in the amount he thinks he's only had a negative impact, and that people would rather he stay gone. And additionally, I think that he is wrong to think that if he made new connections under... Like, let's say he stays faking his death, but he makes new connections with new people under the alias he has to live under, that would cause them harm, and would not have the potential to be a net positive in those new people's lives. I think he's wrong about that. But I think that there is a degree of overcautious, I just want the people I love and new people to be safe, and I think that's reasonable. This dungeon sub-boss says, I was admittedly nervous about them bringing Kiryu back as a playable character after 7, but my goodness, his story is good. I'm really glad they brought him back for this, because I think Yakuza 6 is a pretty disappointing send-off for Kiryu. I think the man who erased his name bringing him back to set up this, I think this is a much more satisfying place to leave Kiryu's story. Incompetent Hero says, for sure, I would just rather have this Kiryu over a very self-assured Kiryu that hadn't thought the people of his past. No, to be clear, I think that the fact that Kiryu is like this is probably a net positive to a degree, and I think that him being self-assured... I don't think it's one or the other. I think that this is a story of Kiryu needing to see that it's okay to accept love and help and support, and that you deserve closure and that you're not a terrible person. And I think that this is a starting point for him to get better.
Let's dig in.
It's the blue meter again. It's the 1 meter I don't need to improve.
Food.
Well, I agree. Like, I think the whole point of this game is... The whole, like, so much of this game is, hey, it's really important for men who grew up in an era where they were told that they weren't allowed to emotionally rely on other people. It's really important for you to have a conversation with them and go, in your heaviest moments, it really is okay to emotionally open up to the important people in your life, and to find a way, even if it requires to be with some distance, to hear nice things said, genuine things said about you by people who were also probably taught growing up to not be open about those emotions, and that is a healthy part of healing and feeling more secure in yourself, and I think that is really important.
Food.
Okay, we're nearly there. Let's clear up these restaurants as quick as we can, and then beyond that, next stream we'll have to work out what other objectives we can do to finish improving the other stats. 9 out of 9. Come on, red or yellow? Red stat. Cool. Perfect.
Oh, that's the stuff. Actually, I could use another round. Stomach might be emptier than I thought.
Don't push yourself. They say you should only eat until you're 80% full.
Yeah, that's true. Still.
I definitely went overboard. I thought soba by itself would be too light, so I got curry and katsudon too. But now I'm about to burst and I haven't even touched the katsudon.
Wow, you really went for a full-course meal.
Should I go for broke or call it a day? Always a hard decision.
Nanba, you're looking a little gaunt there. You want this katsudon, don't ya?
What is this, an interrogation? Yeah, I'll take it.
Guilty as charged.
Detective dramas never lie. The guilty just can't resist a hot meal.
Hey, I always wanted to be the bad cop. Namba, stay put while I order up another katsudon.
I only need one, damn it. And why am I always the criminal in your sick game of pretend?
Incompetent Hero says, I'm a cis man who only just last year realized most of my issues were due to a lack of positive reinforcement. I did things because the other option was bad, not because I was doing what I was doing was good. This plot hits home for me. Yeah, I think there needs to be more media like this. I think there needs to be more media that is like, hey, this is entirely a story about like, hey, cis man. It's okay to, like, accept that you have feelings and to want emotional closeness with the important people in your life, and to find that hard, and to go on a journey of finding a way to reach that emotional closure that you know, probably haven't been encouraged to. Emotions are not a form of weakness, Kiryu.
I never really noticed it before, but it sure is a pretty little cafe.
Yeah, it's well managed, and there's not a speck of dust anywhere. Really has a nice atmosphere.
You're very observant, Kiryu-san.
Even Namba seemed to notice.
Give me a break. I may look like a
Ooh, Echo, good call there. Good comparison.
Now and then. I'll have you know I recently bought some cleaning supplies. Still right there in the box.
Satisfied with the purchase alone, huh?
Well, the effort's what counts, right? Got me a feather duster and everything.
Oh, a feather duster?
Yeah, a big stick that looks like a bird's ass at the end. Isn't that what Cinderella uses to clean?
I'd rather not associate you with Cinderella, but I digress. So, did you do some cleaning?
How could I? I tried waving it around, but all I did was spread a bunch of dust everywhere.
Sounds to me like you almost had it. After the dust settles, you're supposed to.
Everyone should have sound. I apologize. Is it just Terra that didn't have sound there?
Thought the damn thing was busted.
What I'd recommend is a handheld mop to clean up dirt and grime without spreading it around.
Sounds like you've got this cleaning thing down.
Surprised? There was a time I lived with family, and believe me, we all.
Okay, it was a you issue. Cool, no worries.
I could teach you like I taught them.
Yes, master. Teach me your ways.
And so begins the strangest apprenticeship of all time.
I definitely can't go for that much longer, but I can get a couple more of these restaurant chats done before we finish. Where are we at? I've avoided accidentally setting off the plot quest, which is in a restaurant, which is awkward for me trying to do all the restaurants. Come on, red or yellow meter. Okay, yellow. Yellow's at level 9. It's just the red emotion meter we need now.
Fried rice is to die for.
Apparently, this wasn't on their menu originally. They only added it after one of their regulars requested it.
I didn't know that kind of thing was even possible. I wonder if they do the same for us if we become regulars.
I can't help but wonder, though, how do you even become a regular in the first place? Just show up for a meal every day?
I assume it depends on the owner. If they remember you and you get to know each other, you might be able to call yourself a regular at that point.
Be their friend, huh? I have no idea how to relate to the owner here. Figured showing up to eat all the time seems like the best bet.
Would you really go that far just to put something on their menu?
I've only heard this in passing, but apparently the owner of this place used to be a part of some crazy biker gang.
Get out of here. Can't imagine that just looking at the guy. Wonder what's the story behind that one.
What if we rode in on tricked out choppers, dressed to the nines in leather? Maybe then he'd tell us. It'd be like speaking his language.
Oh, we should totally do that. If we want to get banned for life.
Decisions.
By the way, if you got him to put something special on the menu, what would it be?
I can't really think of anything.
Then what's the point of all this?
I just got some disappointing news. My favorite pair of American cereals that I haven't had in a while, I occasionally treat myself to getting a couple of boxes imported, have been discontinued. They don't exist anymore. I wish I'd have known. I'd have stocked up. My favorite American cereal doesn't exist anymore, and I'm gonna have to live with that. It's of all things, Dunkin' Donuts did a couple of coffee-based cereals. They did a caramel macchiato and a mocha cereal. Both of them were so good. They are my two favorite cereals, and neither of them exist anymore, and I'm not aware of anywhere that does a good knockoff. They're not like name brand enough that, like, you know, your big knockoff brands are knocking them off.
Let's dig in.
Man, I love me some takoyaki. Time to dig in.
Are you alright? Hold your horses, Nanchan.
All I could think about was eating the takoyaki. I totally forgot that it's piping hot.
Takoyaki from this place is so well cooked that the insides retain their heat, even when the outside cools off a little.
That's how you know it's the best.
I already know.
Maybe swallow first?
My bad. But you know, it really feels like a slice of heaven to just down a highball after scarfing down some great takoyaki.
Yeah, they really elevate each other.
And takoyaki goes well with almost any topping.
I totally cheese. Cheese are perfect.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, everyone's burning their mouth on the takoyaki. how close am I to finishing that red meter? How close am I to visiting enough restaurants? Come on, bucket list menu. We're really not far off of finishing the tech meter. We can do this. What do I order? You, hello, one of everything.
Looks good. Those thick noodles coated in that rich broth. Pure bliss.
Don't forget the veggies. They're tasty and healthy.
You know, I've always thought Chompon was a really cute name for a dish. What's it mean, anyway?
I think it refers to when a bunch of things are jumbled together. Maybe because you chomp on it all at once.
Right. And isn't drinking a flight of different kinds of alcohol also called champagne?
Well, that'd jumble you up for sure.
Then you could say our group is kind of like Chompon too. Our backgrounds and titles are all so different. We've got a mafia leader, a former Yakuza chairman, and even an ex-bum.
Why couldn't you just call me an ex-nurse?
Sounds like a world-class champone to me.
We're a healthy mix too. Though if anyone tries to eat us, we're definitely the kind of dish that bites back.
Talk about some killer ingredients.
Incompetent hero, I entirely understand. I don't do well with takoyaki because of the texture, and even before having tried it, I sort of knew what my problem was gonna be, and when I tried it, I was right. The problem was exactly what I thought it was gonna be. I think takoyaki is one of those foods it's very possible to know in advance this isn't gonna work for me.
I feel so heavy.
Okay, can I do anything to attack everyone at once? Let's brute force this. I didn't mean to get into this battle.
Much better. I'm on a roll. Let's go.
Oh, good. Follow my lead.
No begging for mercy now.
You're going to regret this.
Takoyaki is divisive. I know people who love it, it's just not for me texture-wise. Okay, cool. Escaped. I was trying to find the restaurant in here. Doo-ba-doo-doo-doo-doo. Yeah, squishy plus gummy is a bad combo for me, too. I can't do dual texture like that. Come on. Red stat. Let's tech up. So close. Just don't want to lose track of where I'm at in this completionism thing by walking away. So we've done up to there. So we need to do here. Even if we don't fill the red meter that I need to finish the Date quest, as long as I can finish it doing all the restaurants, and I know I've checked all the restaurants, that's a good closing point. That's somewhere I can walk away and I remember where we're at. Oh, not the yellow stat, I need the red stat.
Food.
Ooh. Quick, every burger you have. Okay, I'm glad that most of these last ones are skipping having lovely as the dialogue is. Let me speedrun. Let me speedrun having my conversations. Is giraffe bread the stuff they used to call tiger bread, but some child wrote into Sainsbury's saying it doesn't look like a tiger, it looks like a giraffe, and they renamed it giraffe bread? Is that what giraffe bread is? It's the stuff that I would know as tiger bread. Okay, yeah. It took me a second to... Someone, Incompetent Hero asked what giraffe bread was. It took me a second to put giraffe bread together in my head. I don't know how to describe tiger bread, but if you know what tiger bread is, in the UK, you'll sometimes see it labeled giraffe bread now. Tiger bread is like a crusted roll with like, how do I... Let me show you an image of a tiger bread roll so that you can see the thing that used to be called tiger bread that now... Some child wrote to a supermarket and told them it looked more like a giraffe, so now it's called giraffe bread. It's this. It's a loaf of bread that has this kind of fancy crust on it. I don't know how better to describe tiger bread. It's very crust heavy. Right, we're nearly done. Let's run to the last couple. Like, look, the kid's not wrong that it does look more like a giraffe, but also, it was tiger bread made. This is like Pluto not being a planet anymore. You can't take a thing that's that ingrained in my brain and be like, nah, some child decided they wanted to change your childhood and now yours isn't anymore. I'm like, oh, it's tiger bread. Rawr. Thick, crunchy crust with real fluffy white bread inside. Well, thank you, Echo, for describing bread better than I apparently can.
It's good and all, but sometimes you just need seafood. And Conroy here has some of the best squid in town. Yeah.
I only learned about tiger bread recently, only being in the UK a few months. It's good. I didn't realize it was such a UK-specific thing.
Huh?
Oh, I get it. It's because they look just like the Martians in those old movies and anime. Am I right?
No. I'm talking a real deal scientific theory here. Their brains are pretty big compared to their bodies, and on top of that, they've got tons of nerves, most of which are gathered in their tentacles. So, it's said that each tentacle is kind of like its own computer that can operate independently of the main brain.
I mean, that's nothing special. I can move my left and right arms independently.
It's not a competition, you know.
Squid's pretty different from anything else on Earth, so it's speculated they either came from space or evolved after coming in contact with an ancient virus.
Zhao, I don't think that's scientifically backed up evidence.
Now that you mention it, I could see that.
I noticed you have a penchant for tall tales, Zhao.
From a magazine I was flipping through at the convenience store. Pretty neat, huh?
Well, that brought me right back down to earth.
You're surprisingly gullible, Sunshine.
Well, whether you believe it or not is all on you.
Personally, I don't care if they're from this planet or somewhere else, as long as they taste good.
Nothing like embracing diversity.
By eating extraterrestrials? Thanks for buying.
Certainly food.
Oh, last couple. Okay, your Australian bread connoisseur mother was very confused by this bread. It's a very good bread. If you ever get a chance to try tiger bread, take the opportunity. It's a real good combination of, like, very flavorful, strong crust with super fluffy, like, very good white bread inside. It's a very good, like, it's got a good sturdiness to it that makes it great for, like, dipping in soup. It'll hold up its constitution very well, while still being real good and soft inside.
いらっしゃいませ。
Come on, red stat. Nope, still not the red stat.
Certainly food.
ありがとうございました。
And to you. I've got to not get too close to this, because this is like an actual side quest that... It's a good side quest, but it's a side quest that's like, I don't have time to do that side quest tonight. That's going to be like the start of the next stream, is go do that side quest, probably. So close to having eaten everywhere. Come on, increase the correct stat this time.
Let's dig.
Yellow stat again. We're gonna have to look up some of the quests that are specifically like quests that raise the red stat and go deliberately do them. Don't know if we've got any more restaurants left. We got at least one of the stats where we needed it to via pub crawl. Okay, there's one restaurant here. But after that, I'm gonna go like put myself near that side quest, and we'll start that side quest on Friday. Come on, final restaurant, be the correct stat increase. Blue stat. Okay.
Tonkotsu ramen here has a really rich broth. It's just so good. I try to watch my salt intake these days, but I couldn't help it down the whole bowl this time.
Listen to you watching your sodium. What's that at the bottom of your bowl?
Can I just say, it's so nice having a game full of characters who are actual adults, having a conversation about Namba minding his salt intake while having quite salty broth in his soup. That is such a middle-aged conversation. It's such a, this is clearly you wrote actual adults conversation.
Oh, look at that. Let's see here. Someone wrote Moe mi Machida.
Who's that?
No clue.
Apparently, this restaurant used to have a unique tradition of writing their regulars' names on their bowls. Though I heard they stopped doing it a long time ago. So that must have been one of their old regulars.
Oh, now that's a cool idea. I've seen some places that put names up on the walls, but bowls is a first for me. You'd never see it unless you drank down to the last drop.
That's likely the goal. This place prides itself on their broth, after all.
Time to see who's at the bottom of my bowl.
You finish yours too, Sonny?
It says... Kazuma Kiryu.
Same name. What a coincidence.
What a coincidence, Kiryu.
No way there's another Kazuma Kiryu walking around Kamurocho. You come a lot here back in the day, Kiryu?
Okay, now my turn. It's faded and hard to read. Shinji Tanaka?
Guess this place had its fair share of regulars.
That goes without saying. None of us are from Kamurocho.
Oh, it's all the old Yakuza characters are written, their names are written on bowls here.
It's funny. Something about the ramen here brought all these memories flooding back. They're almost as savory as the broth.
Well, we haven't successfully gotten Kiryu's emotion stats where we need them to be, but that's fine. We can get that done on Friday. We gave it a good darn shot. But I'm gonna go save over here, and we will come back and play some more of this on Friday. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching. I hope you've enjoyed another stream. I will be back streaming again on Friday. Have a good rest of your day, of your evening. It's been lovely. I'll chat to you all soon. Bye.